go with it, tries to go off the boards, but good job by Van Steensel keeping it in. Shot scores! Owen Van Steensel puts the North Bay Battalion up 1-0. 5 minutes gone in this first period. Bounces out to the near point. Down low it goes for out front. Goal. Tucker Robinson ties things up here. 6:04 left, and we're in a 1-1 game. Picked off by Petrov. Petrov has it. Looking the centering pass. Big save by Simpson off the shot of Brandon Coe. Wakely looking for it. Backhand forehand. Can't find it. Finds it. Winslow. No. Simpson somehow hangs on to that.
What a save by Michael Simpson. You know, maybe if he did that on Jesse Pollock, he wouldn't have scored that goal for Bardown.
Russell fires one and scores. Mitchell the Hustle Russell puts the Battalion up 2-1 here. 10:06 into the second period. Centering pass just bouncing through, controlled by Sproul. Back to Meyer, his shot, and he scores. Meyer with the power play goal. We're deadlocked at 2 apiece. Far corner, Jackson shot, and Jackson scores! Power play goal, 3-2 North Bay Battalion.
Kyle Jackson with his 17th of the season and second since coming back from that long injury.
A good show, Verbetic playing solid as he's had to stay Thomas. Avon gets around, fires in and scores over a sprawling Joe Verbetic. Things are tied up here, 14 minutes left in this third period of play. Petrov makes a move at his own blue line. 2-on-1. He's got Jackson with him. Fire, score! North Bay Petrov, the hero again. North Bay Battalion 4. Hero Pete Street. What a finish again. North Bay Petrov.
Well, the Petes are going to be very disappointed by that as they've only picked up 1 point through these 2 games up north against the Sudbury Wolves and the North Bay Battalion.
Yes, for the first time in 13 days, we have a game day broadcast for North Bay Battalion Hockey from Memorial Gardens. Bob Coles here with you. Welcome to our Long's Maple Syrup pregame show. Tonight, the Battalion back home for the first time in nearly 2 weeks as they battle the Sudbury Wolves, a team they've been getting familiar with lately, fresh off a win in Sudbury on Sunday afternoon, and they'll play twice in Sudbury next week, so that'll be 4 games out of 5, and should be interesting here this evening as the Battalion begin their week. Just 2 games this week. They're home for Kingston on Sunday, Shane Wright and company, and that'll be a 2 o'clock start, and then the 2 games in Sudbury next week. Bob Coles here with Derek Lindemann on the pregame show, and Derek, Battalion not the week they wanted last week. I mean, Niagara was missing a lot of players, yet Niagara upset the Battalion last Thursday. Friday they were blown out in Hamilton by the top-ranked Hamilton Bulldogs, and of course the win in Sudbury on Sunday. So not a lot of action for the Battalion this week with just 2 games, so they really want to take advantage of home ice the next 2 games.
Exactly that, Bob, and I know that was one of the discussions that came up in the coaches scrum yesterday is the schedule going forward. It gives the Battalion a lot of time, 2 games a week. They're going to get a chance to rest and get a good rest going into the playoffs. Last weekend just didn't go the way they wanted to. Maybe they overlooked Niagara looking ahead to that game against Hamilton, but they really bounced back, put things together with a really strong performance against Sudbury with that 6-2 victory that night.
And it was obvious to me watching the Sunday game in Sudbury, you know, Brandon Coe, he gets points, he leads the team, but there's just a different vibe with the Battalion when he's on the ice.
Definitely a different vibe when you have Brandon Coe in your lineup. Not only does he bring his scoring touch, he brings leadership to this group. He's great in the dressing room, great on the ice. He leads by example, and he just creates so much more room on the ice for his teammates, Jackson and Petrov. They're one line that really has some chemistry.
Okay, Derek, yesterday you mentioned earlier we had a chance to visit with Coach Ryan Houlihan, and as part of our pregame show, let's hear how that scrum went for the media and Coach Houlihan.
Checking the schedule, you guys only play
6 times in the next 3 weeks. So how do you keep the team sharp knowing that you're maybe going up against teams that are playing a bit more?
Well, I think what's good about the schedule is that it's spread out. So we don't, because that was for sure a little bit of a concern for us. But then when we, deep dive and looked at our schedule, there's not often times where we have an extended period where we don't play a hockey game. And that's kind of sometimes the fear as coaches is, you can only practice so much. But in terms of our schedule, it is spread out. Look at this week, for instance, we play Thursday and Sunday. So I think it allows our players to really take care of their bodies. It's unprecedented this time of year. Usually the end of the year is really jam-packed and guys get grinded down, and then you go into playoffs and you're already feeling the intensity of it. Whereas this year we're really going to try to make do with this schedule and get our bodies kind of fresh, prepared, and hopefully ready for a long extended run.
2 key guys still out, but on the mend that maybe talk about Tanias and Liam and how close they are and what you're expecting from them when they're able to get back in the lineup in the next few weeks.
Well, for sure. We've been saying it for a long time with Liam and Tanias. Those are 2 really, really important sort of minute guys for us, right? The guys that play the tough minutes, the guys that give us identity, the guys that play hard, and we're going to welcome them back. They are skating, they are progressing. A couple weeks away. No timeline set in date, but certainly those guys are going to be welcome back.
You have a guy like Brandon Cole. I know you've had players before with the Battalion chasing a scoring title. How tough is it to try to keep a player in mind and keep them on the team first when they are going for the potential of maybe putting the most points up for a Battalion player ever in one season?
Well, I guess the best way to put it in Brandon's case is if one thing is going to help the other, right? So Brandon doing really, really good individually is going to help our team. Our team doing really, really good is going to help guys like Brandon and everybody individually as well. And we've preached that from day one. I mean, the main focus for us is always going to be about the battalion and about the team. With that comes a lot of individuals having a lot of success, and we've seen that with multiple guys this year.
Sudbury Thursday, Kingston right after. What are you guys going to do to get back in the winning column?
Well, I think we had a good bounce back there on Sunday to get back in the winning column versus Sudbury, and they're going to come into our building here on Thursday looking for a little bit of redemption on us. At this point in time, we played each other so much. There's no secrets. We know how they're going to play. They know how we're going to play. It comes down to work ethic and execution, and that's going to be the focus.
Another Brandon question. I think it's understated just watching the team play this year how big of an impact he has from a leadership perspective. Because I watched the game on Sudbury and the team looked different. The team looked different. Like it seemed he had the impact of just calming everybody down and playing battalion hockey. Maybe that wasn't the case in the previous games. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. I mean, he's a top player in the league, and then when you insert that into your lineup and somebody with the speed and skill that he has, again, that's gonna make a different look to your team. I think he adds a lot to that top line. It's funny when you put those 3 guys together, Brandon with Kyle and Matt, they have something pretty special, and when one is missing, it's just not quite the same. When the 3 of them are together, they make things happen, and that was the case on Sunday.
3 of the last 4 games, you guys have outshot your opponents almost 2-1. 2 of those games ended in victory, 1 in defeat. How does the team go from opportunity to success?
Well, it's just the focus of bearing down on your chances. I think that's always the key is goalies are really good in this league at this level, and you kind of have the saying right now to try to provide traffic and trouble. And that's at every level, but that's something that is going to be the focus. Down the stretch into the playoffs, you can drop a whole bunch of things, but if you really look at how goals are scored, there's no real magic or secret recipe. They're usually, right in front of the crease or tip-ins or something happens that way. So I think that's what you just got to, preach on that stuff and preach on bearing down on your chances.
Just a question about the wearing of the purple ribbons. Obviously, everyone's thinking great thoughts for James and his family, and obviously James was an important guy when he was here, wasn't he?
He was, and thanks, Bob, for asking that question, because you were on the bus with us in those days too, where we had a special connection. James was such a valued member of this organization. I got the chance to work with him for 3 years. Just knowing him, I know he's going to be fighting every day. Our hearts and our prayers go out for him, Rachel, his wife, and their 2 kids. And we hope the best for him. We really do. He's such an unbelievable human being that's, again, done so much for our players, so much for everybody in this organization, and we'll be fighting alongside with him.
And that was Ryan Olahan yesterday talking about James Borelli. As Ryan just told you, 3 years he was the athletic therapist. So important to junior teams. People like James, they do so much, and we're dedicating tonight's broadcast to James and his family, and we're just pulling for him as he undergoes his battle with leukemia. So God bless you, James, and we're all pulling for you. Matt, you were a big part of the broadcasting, as I was the first 3 years of this franchise, and James is just such a great guy. He is such a great guy, very funny, and he was such an important part of the family atmosphere the battalion had in those first 3 years.
Well, he had such a big job in trying to help relocate a team from Brampton to North Bay, and I can't imagine all the work that went into making sure that equipment got here on time, making sure that players had what they needed going into that first training camp, because remember, the Gardens was under construction, so he had to facilitate off-ice training with guys in facilities that weren't completed yet. And then the team spent their first 2 weeks of the season on the road, 6 straight road games. That's not easy. It's not easy to do 1 weekend of road games, with all the laundry you have to do, coordinating with other teams and using their facilities for all that. So yeah, this is just going to show the work ethic that James Borelli had, and it's no wonder that he is up in an NHL level job right now, because his work ethic and dedication was top notch. And now that this has fallen on him, it's heartbreaking to see, but knowing that he has so much support from people at the junior level. He was with an AHL team for a time, and he has people that are reaching out from that level as well, and of course seeing the amazing tributes that are being poured onto him from the folks at the Calgary Flames from the NHL level. I mean, it just goes to show how many people that he's touched in his life, and we're thinking of you, James, and we're hoping that you get through this.
Well, James, of course, from the Sioux. He was here in North Bay 3 years, did a little stuff with the Hamilton area with the Montreal farm team, then went to Stockton, California, got the job with the Flames, and eventually promoted to the NHL. And people around North Bay remember James, and they're really pulling for him.
He also had stints with, I believe, both the Argos and the Hamilton Tiger Cats as well. So multi-talented guy. He wasn't just a hockey guy.
And that was a fun 3 years. That first year, very memorable. So we wish James the best. Back to this game against Sudbury, Derek. Dom DiVincentis gets the call in net. Lemaire going for the Wolves. What are you expecting in this game tonight?
Kind of not sure what to expect from Lemaire. He hasn't started since January 25th, so Weeks has played 11 straight games. Last time Lemaire faced the Battalion was on the 20th of January in a 4-1 loss, and Dom DiVincentis, he's really played great against the Sudbury Wolves. His last one was February 13th, a 4-3 victory. He's playing well. He just needs to get the goal scored for him. He keeps the Battalion in every night.
Yeah, the Battalion want to take advantage of these games against Sudbury. Sudbury 8th in the East. Peterborough's got a few games in hand because they've been struck with COVID, but North Bay, of course, battling Mississauga for that top spot in the Central. They're 4 back. Mississauga's played 1 less game, and they're a point behind Kingston as well. So, and Kingston's here on Sunday, Derek. So, the next couple of weeks really big for the Battalion here.
Yeah, you never want to look ahead to the Kingston game. You got to take the game in hand. Sudbury is a good young team. They got their top 3 guys are rookies this year, and they're leading that team in scoring. They want to win every night.
Okay, Derek, look forward to your comments throughout the evening, and teams are on the ice getting ready for this one, and so we'll throw it to Matt and Courtney for the call of this game between the Battalion and the Wolves.
Thank you much, Mr. Coles, as we get a nice little video of Sarge taking on the Big Nickel in Sudbury.
That may have been a collaborated idea 3 or 4 years ago between myself, Brian Floyd, Gerald Gallender, and AJ Jakeman before a Battalion practice.
But it's still fantastic. Anyways, we'll be right back after the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, capped across el bordil, il s'est porté la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And a wonderful rendition of O Canada here at North Bay Memorial Gardens, and that, of course, the anthem always sounds better with more people in the building as we're back to allowed to have full capacity, although looking around it does not look like it's a sellout here at Memorial Gardens. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Matthew Sukram, and I just got to say it's great to be back in this building. I know we've kind of had some of these moments before where the fans have been back in attendance, but it's always great when you know that they can sell out the games if possible, especially down the stretch as we get closer to playoffs and the Battalion zeroing in on that Central Division crown. You know, and Matt, I know you remember from those first couple of years the sellouts and the 7th man and how dangerous it was for away teams to play in this building.
It absolutely was a dangerous building to play in. No one really wanted to take on the newly minted North Bay Battalion because all of a sudden, after 12 years of no OHL hockey, Memorial Gardens became the place to not want to play OHL hockey and if you're a visiting team. So, yeah, that's what they want to get this back to, and it is great to see the people that have come out tonight. And again, it's always good to get a rivalry going when your neighbor from just down the highway pops in for a visit. It's the Battalion and the Wolves, North Bay and Sudbury, for another round here. And it's Winslow off the opening draw, sending it up to Brandon Coe, who fires it way out of play and into the crowd, and that's our first stoppage in play as Brandon Coe fired that one. Coe getting back into the lineup after missing 3 games in Sunday's win in Sudbury.
Yeah, and one thing about that puck going out of bounds there, Matt, is producer Ben Long and I were able to go and take that game in as fans on Sunday, and we that was my first thought was, oh my goodness, I actually have to watch out for pucks down here by the bench, whereas up here we don't really have to worry about it so much.
That's right. Playback underway, moved into the zone. There's a shot on DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play. 27 seconds into this one, no score.
Just some players to watch for this game, Matt, is Ty Nelson. We talked to him on the podcast this week. He says he loves playing against the Sudbury Wolves because he gets amped up for those rivalry games. I mean, the kid gets amped up to play against anyone, really, but especially in these rivalry games is playing against another first overall pick in Quentin Musty. But player for the Wolves is David Goyette. He had a hat trick in this building last time the Wolves were here.
There's a shot from the point on the into the Battalion slot area. Gets blocked off a body and sent around to the far side boards. Stolen in the zone, looking to set it up at the point. Another shot coming in. That one's blocked again. A lot of traffic in front of the Battalion net, and it's Mitchell Russell who picks it up. He skates to the far side, goes to the corner. Now he goes back in front of the end boards behind the net, dishes it over to the far side, and coming out of the corner with it is Govro, and it's sent down the ice. Russell carries it in, drops it to Van Steensel, in behind the net. It's Russell again in control. Try to find Van Steensel in the left side corner, left side circle. That got blocked. It's sent to the line. Dover shot in front. It's loose, and it's in front in the back of the net. Kyle McDonald will extend his point streak to 10 games with the opening goal there. It's 1-0 North Bay.
You know, it's funny when you do this color analysis, you're always thinking, what should I talk about at the next stoppage of play? And I was thinking to myself, wow, Kyle McDonald's had quite the start, so I'll talk about him and that trade from the Windsor Spitfires, and how after starting off slowly, the player is basically just taken on a new life here with the North Bay Battalion. Kyle McDonald now has, I should say, he has 29 goals on the year, so he's zeroing in on 30, and he's had a few of those with North Bay at this point as well, and that's a 10-game point streak, as you mentioned, Matt.
He had 9 goals and 5 assists for 14 points in his last 9 games coming into this one. So 15 points in 10 straight games played with at least 1 point for Kyle McDonald. Play back underway. Sema drops it to the right side. Back in front to Sema. It's right into the pads of Lemaire. And he'll hold on to it for stoppage and play. A minute 40 in. 1-0 North Bay.
Another thing to highlight for the Sudbury Wolves is this is Lemaire's first start since January. It's been all Mitchell weeks in the crease for the Wolves, and that's something that Thomas Mercier on Sunday let me know when I was at the Wolves game, was that Weeks has been playing at least 11 straight games at that point. And he's done pretty admirable for the Wolves, as he has an .899 save percentage, but Lemaire on the season in 10 games played, he's 0-8 with an .873 save percentage coming into tonight.
Playback underway. It's Podolou with the puck in the zone, looking to center it. Goes off a skate, and now redirected into the skates of Romani. He sends it around the end boards to the near side boards. Podolou puts it back into the corner where Romani picks it up. He sends it to the point. There's Lukin. His shot wide of the net, bouncing around to the far side post. Picked up there by Podolou, and he goes carried into the corner and pushed up against the boards. Picking the puck up back there is Alex Farron of the Sudbury Wolves. He moves it up to the blue line, and it skirts over this blue line, and that's where Romani picks it up. He comes back in the zone. Offside is the call, and they will make the faceoff come out of the zone with 2:20 gone in the opening period. 1-0 the score, and as we said, Kyle McDonald now on a 10-game point streak, and he has really been a much-needed cog in that depth scoring for the North Bay Battalion. Playback underway. It's fired into the Sudbury zone to our broadcast left. It gets whipped around the boards, and it's carried out by McCallum. He fires it into the North Bay zone, out of his net to play DiVincentis around to the near side boards. And a big battle going on there. Winslow involved for North Bay. Now it's sent in front of the net. There's a shot from Macedorian, and it's gloved down by DiVincentis for the save.
One thing to mention about as McDonald zeroes in on 30 goals is the Battalion have 3 other 30-goal scorers as well, with Mitchell Russell, Brandon Coe, and Matvey Petrov. The last time that this happened, which is surprising to me because considering how much of a lost season it was Justin Brazo, Matthew Struthers, and Brad Chenier in 2018-19.
Yeah, that was a team that could score, or at least had one line that could score. Here's a guy that could score. Kyle Jackson down the ice on the breakaway. He puts it through the 5-hole, and it's in.
Kyle Jackson picking up his 21st of the season, and within 3 minutes the Battalion are up 2-0 on 2 shots on goal, which again is kind of tough to think because I think Lemaire did get 1 save in there, so it might be 3 shots on goal, but Kyle Jackson's been a great re-addition to this lineup, and you always hear teams say at trade deadlines that our injured players are going to be good deadline acquisitions themselves. In the case of Kyle McDonald, the Battalion had to wait a little bit for him, but that is very true for sure.
Kyle Jackson with his 31st career goal, 71 points now in 106 games played for the North Bay Battalion. The former CCHL Rookie of the Year. And again, there's a shot down the ice. That's going to be icing called against the North Bay Battalion. But I mean, going back to Kyle Jackson, I mean, that was a guy, he's only played in 31 games. He missed almost a month worth of games being out with an injury. And it was felt as that top line just did not look the same without him.
No, it didn't, and it really kind of ate away at the depth as well. As before the trade acquisition of Kyle McDonald, they really didn't have anybody on that second line producing until Owen Van Steensel put things together a little bit at the end of January.
So now with Jackson rejoining the top line and Russell and McDonald on that second line, you have 4 guys that are either at or approaching the 30-goal mark. 16:29 remaining in the first period as it's shot into the North Bay zone. Govro takes a hit on the end boards, and it's knocked off his stick into the corner. Played back to line. It's out of the reach of Anakina. And it's back over the blue line, and the Wolves go offside as Kocha Delic brings it in behind a couple of players that he was trailing. So we have played 3:50, and it's 2-0 North Bay in the first.
Another thing I wanted to highlight about that 18-19 Battalion team is that, yes, they had 3 30-goal scorers in Brazo, Struthers, and Chenier, but Brazo had 61, so he was well ahead of his peers in that season.
It's doubled them up, basically. Playback underway inside the Sudbury zone. Behind the net, it gets kicked out in front, and Musty gets it out on the dump out. Played in the neutral zone. It's Paul Christopoulos, who has just played in his 100th career OHL game. He fires it up ahead to Outwater, who drops it back to Lucan. Lucan makes a move, goes over the blue line, and then runs out of steam as he goes into the far side corner. Takes a hit, but still maintains possession of the puck. Now they finally get it away from Lucan, and it's Musty who brings it through the zone. Drops it back to Peyton Robinson, who now fires it up to the right wing side. Now Farrand on the far end can't complete the pass, and now the Battalion are going the other way. Racing down the ice is Sema, and he dumps it in and looks for a line change. It's Outwater chases it in the zone. It's taken away by Callens, who moves down the right wing. He's going end to end here. He goes to the end boards, and then he's boxed out by Nelson, who gets his body in the way. Nelson turns it over at the goal line, and it's controlled in the corner. Sent out of the zone as no Sudbury Wolves player could get to the blue line, and it's Callens who chases it down into his own end. Tries to pass it out of the zone. That gets blocked by Podolu of the Battalion, and he plays it on the half boards. Now it's picked up in the middle of the zone. Poke check made by Nelson to keep it in briefly, but now it's headed the other way with Ryan Smith down the ice. He gets pulled down by Winslow, and that's going to be a call coming against the North Bay Battalion, tripping against, check that, it's on Nelson. And so the Battalion will be shorthanded for the first time this game, about 5.5 in.
Real quick before I give you your special teams numbers, I just want to say, looking down at Lemaire's numbers, he's 3 shots against, 2 goals against for a tidy .333 save percentage. Baseball taught me that when you're 1 for 3 on the day, so I guess we can't really talk too much about baseball right now. But anyways, the Sudbury Wolves on the power play, they're 15.4%, 18th in the league. The Battalion with the penalty kill, 79.2%, good for 8th in the league.
The Battalion off the draw, clear it out of the zone, but now it's shot back in quickly by the Wolves. Ladd has it behind the net for the Battalion, trying to get away from some pressure. It gets shot to the near side corner, and a battle continues over there. And now they're going to call a glove pass against the Wolves as it went up in the air, came back down into the glove of Goyette, and he played it to his teammate Delic, it looked like, on the near side corner. So, about 5:45 in, 2-0 North Bay.
It looked like after the stoppage and play, Matt, that Lermand had a bit of words for Goyette. He wasn't very happy with what's going on the power play right now for his team.
North Bay win the draw, take their time, and now they dump it all the way down the ice. 30 seconds off the clock in the power play. Moving the puck out of the zone is Jacob Holmes for the Wolves. He passes over to, I believe that was Smith, and now it's to the far side boards for Goyette. Down to the point to Holmes, back to Goyette on the far side. Plays it to the middle, pass is broken up by Van Steensel and cleared out of the zone. Holmes gets it right back up quickly to Konyan, but he can't carry it over the blue line, and it's shot down the ice, corralled by Holmes behind his own blue line. Plays it to the right side to Delic, who dumps it into the zone, and now Delic tries to go down the middle. He's knocked off the puck, and it goes to the far side. Shot back to the near side. And the Wolves trying to control on the half boards. Now it's set to the middle. Farron's shot on net. Stopped by DiVincentis. And he holds on to it for stoppage in play. 6:41 gone in the first. 2-0 North Bay.
41 seconds left in the man advantage for the Sudbury Wolves as well. And you know what's funny, Matt? We were talking in the media room before the game, and I was saying that the only time that Sudbury looked to really threaten the North Bay Battalion on Sunday in Sudbury was when they pulled their goalie at the 8-minute mark, and for 4 minutes they hummed North Bay in their own zone before Jackson scored an empty netter.
Play in the corner. It's Musty who has it for Sudbury. Now to the far side half boards, down to the point, across to the near side. The shot stopped. Rebound chance is also blocked by Ladd. Another chance from the line. That one stopped by DiVincentis, and then he pokes it away. Ladd picks it up and fires it down the ice. Great defensive stance there by the North Bay Battalion. Here come the Sudbury Wolves right back into the zone. Paul Christopoulos corrals the loose puck, fires it out of the zone, and we might get a penalty here against Christopoulos for a delay. And they are calling it. So a delay of game call against Christopoulos. So for 4 seconds, it's going to be 5-on-3. And then Sudbury's going to get another ensuing power play with that delay of game call against Christopoulos.
And it looks like the Wolves' 18th ranked power play will get some more chances, like you said, and the Battalion 8th ranked penalty kill will have another great chance. And you know what? I've always heard this old adage: you want to see a great team be top 10 in the league on both the power play and the penalty kill. The Battalion currently are both.
Sudbury wins the draw. It's down to the line. Nelson out of the box, and he'll join in the play as the puck gets passed around the Sudbury zone. So it's a 5-on-4 now for 1:45 as Sudbury controls the puck in the North Bay end. It's Holmes on the puck on the right side point, fires it to the net. Nelson blocks it, and Nelson carries it out of the zone all the way up to the Sudbury blue line, and he dumps it down the ice. 7:40 played in the first period. 2-0 North Bay lead, down by a man for another 1:25, and it's dumped right back into the Sudbury zone. Lemaire leaves it behind the net for Holmes. Holmes brings it up to Conyon, and Conyon dumps it down into the North Bay end, into the corner. Played behind the net now. Goyette back there, as well as Larmond. Sends it down to the point for Holmes. Back to the half points to Larmond. To the middle, Delich. It's poked away from his stick. He gets it back, sends it to the point for Holmes. Walking in on the right side. The shot wide of the net. Picked up on the far side by Russell, and he rips it down the ice. 8:25 gone in period number 1. 2-0 North Bay lead. Down by a man for another 45 seconds with Paul Christopoulos in the box. DeGrazia moving into the zone. Knocked off his stick and slowly slides towards DiVincentis, who will smother it for a stoppage in play.
One thing that I've always found interesting this year is the trust to have Brandon Coe, Matvey Petrov, Mitch Russell, your offensive guys out there killing penalties. So when we had Ryan Houlihan on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, I asked him about that. And he says, you know what, having those guys out there that want the puck on their sticks, they're not afraid in those moments to get the puck on their sticks, and they're responsible defensively. They take their time, and they're able to get it down the ice and kill valuable time.
Especially with Coe and Russell being overage players, been in the game 5 years, or been in the league for 5 years, and they understand the responsibility that's expected of them on the penalty kill. 20 seconds left on that penalty kill, as it's fired down the ice again, this time by Ty Nelson, who is not an overager, but he's probably the most responsible guy out there on the penalty kill, as there's now 10:50 remaining in the period, and Sudbury are about to go 0 for 2 on back-to-back power plays, as Christopoulos is now back out onto the ice. Petrov has the puck, feeds it up ahead to Christopoulos, going into the zone one-on-one, feeds it across to Petrov, but it's out of his reach, and now the Wolves going back on the counterattack. In the neutral zone, the pass is picked off by Christopoulos, and it's now picked up by Nelson behind his own blue line. He skates forward, goes over the Sudbury line, and fires it. Blocker save made by the goaltender Lemaire, and now it's back down to the blue line. Wakely pulled down at the area, and that's going to result in a penalty going against the Sudbury Wolves, so they just go 0 for 2 on the power play, and now they're going to be shorthanded with 10:15 remaining in the first period.
The Sudbury Wolves, their power play or penalty kill numbers are 76.2% for 15th in the league, and power play chances are the Battalion are an even 25%, good for 5th in the league. And when it comes to the power play, it's proudly supported by the Noah Strong campaign. You can now get Noah Strong merchandise at Skater's Edge, North Bay source for sports. So good to see that you can go out and get your 7-1 or 7N1D merchandise wherever you want and support a great cause and look fashionable while doing so.
North Bay on their first power play of the game. They lead 2-0 here in the first, and they have control off the draw in the Sudbury zone. It's at the line, Nelson to the left side, Petrov flips it back to the line to Nelson, across to the right side, Coe, down low behind the goal line to Jackson, who lets it go by him to Petrov in the corner, flipping it back around to the far side to Jackson. He gets tangled up over there. A couple Sudbury players on it, but now Russell helps him out. Russell centers the puck to Nelson, wide open, scores! Kid Nelly puts one on the board. It's 3-0 North Bay.
You know, the joke that we have on the broadcast, and I should say first, is that that's Ty Nelson's 7th of the season. But the joke that we have on the broadcast and the podcast is whenever we highlight a player, they turn out to have a really good game. And, you know, this week we had Kid Nelly on the podcast, Ty Nelson. So I'm not saying that, you know, it's because of his appearance on the podcast, but maybe it's because of his appearance on the podcast. But no, Ty Nelson was born to play hockey, and wow, what a great player the Battalion have, and going to that top prospects game here later on this season in Kitchener, a place that he hasn't played on the ice yet, but he has played a ball hockey tournament of all things there. So excited to see him go and compete in that game.
And it's really as if the Sudbury Wolves completely overcommitted on that play, forgetting they were on the penalty kill, and left the upper half of the zone wide open. And when Russell found Nelson sitting alone there, I mean, what else are you going to do? Give Ty the puck. 9:20 remaining in the first period. It is 3-0 North Bay. And what a great opening 11 minutes for the fans back in the Gardens. Just 4 shots on net. Play inside the neutral zone. Back and forth, being passed like a ping pong ball between the two blue lines here. Govro now has it behind the North Bay blue line. Across to the far side to Ladd, back to the near side to Govro, and Govro dumps it out of the zone. Grayson Ladd has now played in 200 career OHL games, 21 with North Bay since the trade on January 5th with the Windsor Spitfires. And he's fit in pretty nicely with this North Bay club. Out of the zone is McDonald with the puck. Lost it at the Sudbury blue line, and now Conyon plays it up ahead to Goyette. Puts it on net. It's off the side. Now set back out in front, and McDonald carries it away for the North Bay Battalion. McDonald dumps it down the ice. In behind the net, it's Van Steensel there. Centering. Pass across to the left side to McDonald, just out of his reach. Gets it off the boards, turns and fires it, and it's save made. Lemaire, I believe, got a piece of it. Down to the point, Christopoulos walking in. He fans on the shot, gets it to the middle. McDonald's shot goes up and over the boards and out of play. 7:51 to go in period number 1. It's 3-0 for the North Bay Battalion. Courtney, why don't you give us a preview of what the guys are chatting about in the intermission?
Absolutely, and of course we'll hear again from Mr. Bob Coles and Derek Lindemann in the intermission show, and they will be visiting, or they will have a clip of Ty Nelson from this week's Frontline podcast, and they'll also be talking down and breaking down everything from this period, and they'll also give you an insight as to what is happening around the OHL as well, among many more storylines to follow as we're getting down to the bottom portion of the season. Even though the season has been extended by 2 weeks, we are getting down to crunch time, and playoff positioning is becoming a very big thing right now. And one thing I wanted to say, speaking of playoff positioning, a team fighting for its life right now, they had to give Lemaire a start after letting Weeks go 11 straight games. But you got to wonder, after only making 1 save on 4 shots, how short is that leash, and will we see Mitchell Weeks in this game?
Yeah, I think as a coach, it's tough to pull a netminder that hasn't played in 11 games after 1 bad period, but tryout season is over, man. Like like you said, you're fighting for your playoff lives. So, that's what really matters at this point in the year. Playback underway inside the Sudbury zone. It's Wakely who has the puck, skating down the left wing side, goes to the middle, plays it to the right side to Podolou. Podolou gets knocked off the puck, but the Battalion keep the puck in. Sema gets it at the slot, fires it into the corner, and now off a couple of bodies, the puck gets kicked away. It's Farron who picks it up for Sudbury, and he carries it to the far side, and the Sudbury Wolves will get out of the zone as it comes back to the near side and carried out. Farron knocks Sema into the official going into the North Bay zone, but the puck is sent back down the other way. Wakely carrying it towards the net. He gets held up by Joshua Hoover, and that allows Sudbury to get through the zone again. Coe knocks Musty off the puck, but then he passes it back to Musty. Musty trying to go through the slot. It's knocked off his stick. Collins picks it up at the side of the net. Tries to center it. That gets blocked. Winslow with no stick is trying to shield the puck in the corner, and he's able to kick it up to the blue line, but it's stopped there by Sudbury and fired back into the near side corner. That's where Petrov has it. He carries it behind the net, sends it to the far side to Coe. Coe on the backhand, sends it to the line, shot back in towards the North Bay net, wide of the net. Picked up back there by Winslow. He plays it to the right boards to Nelson. Nelson dumps it down the ice. Jackson chasing, and he gets beat to the puck by Peyton Robinson of the Wolves, who sends it around to the far side boards. Kept in the corner by DeGrazia, and he gets it up to the blue line. It's Robinson looking to carry it out. He turns it over. Coe going into the net. Across to Jackson. The shot save made by the netminder Lemaire. 6:11 to go in the period. 3-0 North Bay.
And just because the Battalion are buzzing here up 3-0, it doesn't mean that they will not give out prime chances if they're not mentally strong enough, whereas they almost gave one away pretty well to Quinton Musty, as you mentioned, with Brandon Coe giving the puck away, but that top line having a solid rebound and able to really try and eat up the Wolves' defense on that play.
Mabe Petrov with the puck in the zone. He gets knocked off it, and it goes to the far side boards. Picked up by the Wolves, and they will clear it out of their zone. Dumped in by Larmond. Played at the point now by Holmes. The shot comes in. It's deflected off the glass behind the net. Played to the far side to Coe. And Coe gets it up to the stick of Jackson, who finds Petrov in the neutral zone. He goes over the blue line, drops it back to Govro. Govro across to Jackson in the circle. He's got time, and he fires it in the back of the net. Kyle Jackson with his second of the game. It's 4-0 North Bay.
Kyle Jackson, as you mentioned, is second of the game, his 22nd of the season, which is, very impressive considering he's had such a long layoff that he still has that many goals, and it speaks to the volumes to how hot he was just before that injury against Hamilton. But they basically gave Kyle Jackson all the time in the world to stand there in the slot, and quite the defensive breakdown for the Sudbury Wolves, as that's now 4 goals on 6 shots for the North Bay Battalion. So the shooting percentages are definitely going to be very high in this game, Matt.
The North Bay Battalion could finish with 5 30-goal scorers. That's what did you say? That's Jackson's 22nd of the season. So he does have some work to do, definitely. We'll finish that thought in a second as Podolou comes in on a 2-on-1. Podolou across to Dercevic, and the save is made by Lemaire. Dercevic sends it from the point, from the corner to the point to Christopoulos, and he blasts one in from the blue line. Paul Christopoulos with the goal. It's 5-0 North Bay.
I think Anthony Romani got a piece of it as he leads the charge back to the Battalion bench for his 4th of the season. It looks like Mitchell Weeks is moving on the bench now, so it looks like that's enough for the Sudbury Wolves, as Mitchell Weeks now is going to come in and just going to give you a quick update on his stats. In 43 games played, he has an 18-19 record, 2 overtime losses, 2 shootout losses, 376 goals against average, and 899 save percentage. So that'll do it here for Lemaire. And you know, when you're about to get pulled as a goaltender, you're out there alone on an island, and you can just see Lemaire, and the Battalion fans are giving him a bit of a cheer knowing the situation that he's in. But you know that you're out there on an island all alone.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Mitchell Weeks into the game with 5 minutes to play in the first period. It's 5-0. And so, as we said, Jackson with 22 goals. And now here comes Kyle McDonald, who has 28, muscling his way to the puck in the zone, into the corner. Move down the half boards, back in the corner. That's McDonald still on it. He finds Van Steensel. Van Steensel switches spots with McDonald. He goes to the net, tries for the backhand. That's denied and cleared out of the zone by the Wolves. Lucan has it in his own end. He flips it off the glass. Sent down the ice. McDonald over the blue line. Takes a shot, just fired wide. Picked up behind the net by Mania, and it's sent down the ice, and that will be icing called. So back to what I was saying before. The Battalion could have 5 30-goal scorers. Coe, Petrov, Russell are already there. McDonald is at 28. And then Kyle Jackson with 22. He's got some work to do. But if this game is any indication, there's a heavy dose of the Sudbury Wolves coming up. That's some potential to put up some points against a lower-ranked team. 4 minutes remaining in the first period. It's 5-0 North Bay. That 5th goal courtesy of Christopoulos as the puck is shot up over the boards and out of play. Christopoulos getting his 4th goal of the season, so
It's romantic, sir.
check that my mistake. It was Romani with the goal, Tarasevic with the assist, and now the Battalion are on the power play as McCallum fires it over the glass and out of play for a delay of game.
When it rains, it pours for the Sudbury Wolves as they now have to kill off another power play opportunity. And of course, this power play for the Battalion is proudly supported by the Noah Strong campaign. You can get some of their merchandise at Skater's Edge, Source for Sports North Bay. And again, get some of that 7N1D merchandise to get around and look very fashionable while supporting a great cause.
Jackson wins the draw, drops it back to Nelson. Nelson walking in, goes to the middle, sends it to the right side. Coe lets it play off the boards, back to the point to Nelson. Across to Petrov, shot in, save made. Coe picks it up in the right side circle, centers it to Russell, and the shot is just wide. Played off the near side boards by Petrov. In behind the net to Jackson. Down on the right side to Coe. Coe to the point to Nelson. Nelson, big time slap shot, and it's a stop made by Weeks, and he sends it over the glass and out of play.
The thing that's amazing about this period is that it hasn't been a really dominant period for either team. I mean, the shots on goal are 10-5 in favor of the Battalion, and really those 5 extra shots have been the difference for the troops as they were able to find the back of the net on Lemaire for those 5 shots. So, and now you got to test Weeks out real quick here because, you know, he came into the game not thinking he was going to see the ice.
Coe behind the net to Russell to the left side. Petrov, his shot goes off the side of the net. Down to Coe. Under the right side circle. Plays it to the point to Nelson. To the left side circle to Petrov. Back down to Nelson. Now to Petrov across to the right side to Coe. Coe lets it play off his stick. And then he turns it over as Goyette gets in the way. And Goyette carries it out of the zone. But in the neutral zone, it's poked off the stick. And Russell tries to move forward. Now it's shot right back past him. And going into the zone is DeGrazia. He gets pulled down behind the net, but no call there. Maybe it looks like he probably just slipped, actually, as the Battalion did have some sticks in the area, but no contact made. 2:30 to go in a 5-0 game for the Battalion in the first period. Jackson gets it up to Coe over the blue line. Back in front of the net to Jackson. He goes into the corner, knocked off his stick, and the Sudbury Wolves gets it out of the zone and into the neutral zone. Grayson Ladd back checking, goes back to his own line, and now plays it forward for McDonald. McDonald going into the zone, goes under the right side circle, plays it across to Ladd. Ladd under the left side circle, plays it to the point to Winslow. Winslow to the left side to Ladd. Ladd walking to the point, sends it across to McDonald. McDonald fakes a shot across to Winslow, it's out of his reach. Plays it off the boards and now behind the net. Wakely plays it off the right side boards to McDonald. Down to the point, it's Ladd. Across the left side, Winslow. Winslow back down to the point to Ladd. McCallum's out of the box. Ladd walking and fires, and it's off the shoulder of Weeks behind the net. 1:40 to go in the first period. 5-0 North Bay lead. looking to maintain control in the Sudbury zone. It's knocked away out to the neutral zone and carried in by McCallum over the blue line. And they're going to call offside against the Wolves on that play going into the zone.
And of course, this first period is proudly sponsored by Northern Wood Customs. You can find them on Facebook, and if you decide to make an order of one of their beautiful wood creations, tell them you heard this ad on the Frontline Game Day broadcast for a 10% discount, and they'll be more than happy to fill your order. Matt, back to the game.
Minute 25 to go. 5-0 North Bay lead in the first. Tarasevich gets it out of the zone and sent down the ice. It is Hoover who has control of the puck now in the Sudbury end. He plays it back to the neutral zone. Romani up ahead to Podolou. Podolu's shot is just wide of the net. Picked up off the boards, and the Wolves look to clear it. Doing some great work on the forecheck here is this fourth line of Tarasevich, Romani, and Podolou as it's dumped right back into the Sudbury zone. Tarasevich chasing into the corner with a minute to play. Dumped down to the line to Lukin. Lukin to the half boards to Tarasevich. Back to the point to Lukin. Lukin knocked down. He gets back up. Plays it to the middle to Wakely. Wakely to Lukin. Out in front to Romani, and he scores. Romani's second of the game. 6-0 North Bay.
That's Romani's fifth of the season altogether. And again, you want, when a goaltender doesn't think he's going to see the ice, sometimes their head isn't really in the game. So you want to get a bit of a test in there as well. And the Battalion were doing that, testing Mitchell Weeks often and early. And we're able to find the back of the net. And Mitchell Weeks, along with Matt Guzda, have really been kryptonite to the Battalion's offense this year. With the two goaltenders in the Central Division have done everything in their power to get their teams these wins in the final minute here now as the Battalion get a 6-0 lead.
Sent down into the North Bay zone. The Battalion looking to play it out. Sent right back in. It's Ladd who has it for North Bay. Up ahead to Sema. Sema dumps it down the ice. 15 seconds to play in the period. Behind the net. The Wolves control it in their own zone. They move down the right wing boards. Collins carries it out. Plays it up ahead. Going into the zone is Goyette. Goyette across the right side to Cognier. And he scores. On the one-timer feed with 4.6 seconds remaining. And Sudbury are on the board. It's 6-1.
Evan Conyon's 13th of the season. And that's 7 goals in this first period alone. Wow. These two teams came to play some offense, well, more so one than the other.
And I was going to say, Sudbury had spurts in that period where they did look good, especially on the power play. But 5-on-5, they really had been dominated since really, I guess, the end of that, the 2 consecutive power plays. I mean, I was going to say DiVincentis had really not seen a lot of pucks. That's just the 6th shot on him in this contest. So, shooting percentage-wise, if you're the goaltenders, not great. Sudbury with a goal on 6 shots. North Bay with 6 goals on 12 shots. But if you like offense, you picked the right game to tune into tonight. It's 6-1 North Bay. Can we call this Gretzky-era hockey? I mean...
you know what? As long as it doesn't turn into that Leafs-Red Wings game, because as a Leafs fan, my heart couldn't handle it. How are you up? Okay, I just got to say before we throw to the guys, you're up 7-2 going into the third. Within 5 minutes in the third period, it's 7-6. Come on. We all know as Leafs. Yeah, exactly. We all know what's going through. We all know what's going through our head. Anyways, with someone with a bit more of a fresher perspective on the sport, although his Flyers aren't doing so hot, Matt, Mr. Cole's taking away for the first intermission.
As a smarter man than me once said, get over it. Yes, if only you guys had some goals to call. A bunch of them in that first period. Of course, North Bay fans watching the out-of-town scoreboard as well tonight as they lead 6-1 after 1 here at the Gardens. Mississauga and Hamilton are 1-1. That game is 2 minutes left first period. Again, Mississauga 4 points ahead of the North Bay Battalion in the standings, and Mississauga has a game in hand. Also, Niagara and Peterborough, the Pete's up 1-0 in that one. That's the team Sudbury's trying to hold off for the final playoff spot in the East. And Kingston, who will be here on Sunday, is trailing Barrie 1-0, just 3.5 minutes. And Powassan's own Connor Punnett with the goal for the Colts in that one. Lots of scoring in this one, 6-1. The shots were 12-6 North Bay, and I guess not a very good save percentage for Jonathan Lemaire. 500. That's how things went in that save percentage. Derek, he gave up 6, and
you're
you're
giving him really good. He was more like he made 3 saves and 8 shots. Unfortunately, he got pulled there. So Weeks came in, stopping giving up 1 goal on 7 shots. So
I guess
Lemaire not having a good night for the Wolves.
I guess you could say he was thrown to the Wolves tonight.
Oh, he definitely was, especially the way the defense was playing for Sudbury. I don't know how many times bouncing pucks, turnovers, and left North Bay on odd-man rushes. A loose guy in front of the net. Romani left all alone there for that 6th goal. Unfortunately, Sudbury not getting any help for the goaltenders.
Power plays 0 for 2 for the Wolves, 1 for 2 for the Troops. Face-offs 1, North Bay 15, Sudbury 12. The goals, if you missed it, Kyle McDonald's 29th. That's his 11th goal, I believe. His 12th goal. 17 in Windsor and now 12 in North Bay from Mitchell Russell and Cam Govro at 118. Kyle Jackson, first of 2 on the night. 21st of the year from Petrov and Nelson at 252. Nelson got in on the scoring. His 7th from Mitchell Russell on the power play at 10:14. Jackson again from Govro, his 2nd assist. Petrov, his 2nd assist at 14:27. And then a pair from Anthony Romani. He has 5 on the year now. 1 from Christopoulos and Tarasevich at 14:56, and 1 from Lucan and Wakely at 19:18. And then Evan Conyon scored for the Wolves with 5 seconds to go from David Goyette and Nolan Collins. Penalties, Nelson for tripping at 5:22. Paul Christopoulos delay a game at 7:18. Quentin Musty for holding for Sudbury at 9:45. And Landon McCollum delay a game 16-13. So North Bay in control up there 6-1 as they hopefully will get the 2 points tonight, and then they'll look forward to Kingston on Sunday in their next game. But Derek, a lot of defensive miscues by the Wolves, but North Bay looked to me like they're really positively reinforced by this crowd. The crowd was ready to go, and they enjoyed that first period.
Yeah, and I'm going to say they looked like they had an extra step in their skates today. I've never seen them skate this hard after loose pucks, especially on that first penalty kill. It was almost a 4-minute penalty kill because the 2 penalties were back-to-back. They overlapped by 4 seconds, but I've never seen them so aggressive on the penalty kill, jumping on loose pucks, and just carrying their speed throughout that first period. I don't think Sudbury could keep up with the speed of the North Bay Battalion.
Okay, Derek, we'll have more of you in the more comments from you as we move along in our intermission. But, of course, the Frontline podcast, a big part of Courtney Kenny's life, and his guest this week, Battalion defenseman Ty Nelson.
It's another episode of your favorite podcast, yes, the Frontline podcast. Hey, I'm Tom Parisi, Courtney Kenny alongside as always, and back for his umpteenth tour of duty, it's Ty Nelson. They call him Kid Nelly. Ty, welcome back to the podcast. We're happy to have you on this time around again. And not that we're running out of things to talk to you about, but hey, I mean, we got to talk about some draft ranking. Let's just jump right into it this time around. You're up, you're down. To us, you're always up. But is it stressful to keep your eye on that all the time, or do you even care?
I mean, to be honest, I really try not to look at it, and I just really try to focus in on playing the game, because I know if I'm worried about that stuff, I think it'll hinder my performance. And I think I did it in the OHL draft as well. It's just where I'm going to play hockey, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to do the best of my ability, and then I know hopefully my play will reflect on that draft stock.
What have you had any like conversations with scouts and stuff that have come to you and said, "Hey, we as scouts like you, but maybe we need this to see you improve in this area before we seriously consider something"? Or what have the conversations been like, if you have had any at all?
Yeah, I've talked to a few teams, gotten some questionnaires and stuff like that, and then yeah, it's always nice. I mean, they're great. They're great people. They're very honest and straightforward, which is amazing because at the end of all the calls, I like to ask for some feedback and stuff like that. And they're always telling me something like they'll tell me something that I can improve on, and then I really appreciate like the advice because that's what they're seeing that can make me better and hopefully help me in at the next level if I was get an opportunity to play in the next level. And I think that it's amazing because they're being open and honest and not trying to hinder that, like saying what you need to work on and stuff like that.
Tyler, there aren't too many. Go ahead, Courtney.
Sorry, Tom. I was just gonna say, but for two guys like Tom and I who are absolutely awful at hockey, where floor hockey was our expertise, and even though we weren't great at that, what are some of the things that these guys are telling you to work on though? Because to us, your skill talent is off the roof, or you're through the roof. What are some of the things that they say that you might need to work on?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the kind words, but I mean, just like little things like that. I mean, one of the guys just said like how working on some stick positioning instead of trying to out muscle a guy like I would do at the beginning, trying to do at the beginning of the year. Just take his stick away in his like triangle there and take it away so he can't tip the puck. And they're saying those little things like that is something that you can always do to help make yourself become a better player.
There aren't too many kids who would go out and say, "What can I do better?" How brave are you for that? I mean, is it hard to ask for a little extra constructive criticism?
Honestly, no. Like, I think it's a huge part of my game, and I really look for that because I'm always going to the coaches and seeing what I can do better. And they're great with it, right? They're always giving me feedback, telling me what I can work on and stuff like that. So, honestly, I think getting that constructive criticism is a big part of my game and how I've improved a little bit over this year.
One thing coming into the year, I remember kind of trying to get a feel out for, well, obviously we had heard and spoken to you for a whole year before you got on the ice in North. One thing that I said is this, I remember hearing is this kid's skill talent is off the charts, like we mentioned, and his offensive play is fantastic, but he might need some work in the defensive zone. Again, somebody who can't play hockey, your defensive zone play looks amazing out there. Is that something that you really honed in on yourself this year that said, okay, I need to work on this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the beginning of the year, me and Bill Holder, Scott Ray, and Ryan Ouellet, we were dialed in on the defensive zone, and that's something I've been working on and just trying to get constantly better at all year. And I think I've done a pretty good job of improving, but like I said, there's always room to keep improving.
Even though Billy played in a different era of the NHL, how is that translating to when he coaches you? How does that help you guys?
I mean, Billy's like really updated with the game of hockey, and he understands now how different it was from back then. And I think he teaches us so many things that he did back then that are so useful now in today's game that maybe some other kids don't know. And I mean, I'm super grateful for everything that he's taught me. And like you said, he has that experience of playing at the pro level. So he brings that in and he's trying to educate us on what it takes and how you got to do things at the pro level.
One thing I thought was really interesting on Sunday going to the game in Sudbury and getting to kind of get up close with the bench a little bit compared to where I usually have to stand at the Gardens. He's very engaged on the bench, Billy. Like, he's very vocal too. And I was like, wow, this is fun to watch from a different perspective.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, he's probably one of the coaches that yell the most. I mean, on the penalty kill, he gets right into it because he coordinates it. So on loose pucks and stuff like that, he's over the bench, he's screaming, trying to get us to hear him.
Fair enough. On that kind of topic, we had when we talked to Ryan Ouellet, he mentioned when there was no fans in the building, how it was easier to kind of make changes during the play because you could really hear them. As a player, how different is it with no fans and fans in the building like that?
For me personally, it was a little bit of a difference. I mean, I didn't really notice it that much as we're playing, but obviously after you score like a huge goal and something like that, like you're wanting to hear all the fans scream or even get boos at away rinks, like that makes it right. But I mean, it was a little difficult when you didn't hear that type of stuff. But I mean, it kind of made it a lot easier playing because, like, for my teammates that yell for pucks but aren't really that loud, like, it made it easier to hear them and it made the game a little bit easier.
I think it definitely helped having fans in attendance for that big comeback against Sudbury, because the loud cheers and everything with each goal was something fun to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the atmosphere itself brings a whole different type of energy, and it rolls to the bench as well. And you can see as soon as we scored that first goal, the crowd got into it. Then we all started rolling. It just happened one after another.
One thing before we get to the other big thing that we wanted to talk to you about, one thing that's kind of become a bit of a running joke on the podcast since we had him on, Macker told us that Dom's a bit of the the tougher, not the toughest, but the most tough guy to deal with in the locker room. As one of his pals and stuff, what's your opinion on that?
You know what? I give him credit though, because he's only doing it to help. He's only doing it to help himself and his performance, right? I mean, I don't blame him. Like, if I was a goalie and I'm getting pucks ripped at me 89 miles an hour, I'd want to make sure everything's right as well. So I don't blame him, but sometimes we do throw in some jokes here and there at him, just for all the times he's calling Macker.
And that was Ty Nelson earlier this week on the Frontline podcast with Courtney Kenny and Tom Parisi. And if you want to check that out, just wherever you get your podcasts, look for the Frontline podcast. This is the game day broadcast on you're listening to here, as the Battalion leads Sudbury 6-1 after one. And Ty Nelson he's so fun to watch. I noticed he was in the penalty box and comes out, and he's able to move from, he comes out, he decides with the communication with the coaches, I'm going to stay on the ice rather than go to the penalty box, because Sudbury, of course, is on the power play, and when he comes out, the power play's ending. So he does his defensive job. He's able to get the puck out, carries it out, and then he becomes a dangerous offensive player basically on the same shift. His 200-foot game's amazing.
He certainly is improving every day. Every time we see him, there's always something that amazes you, and you're like, I don't remember seeing that really last time. And I got to see a different angle this time on that power play. I was just so impressed with his poise, quarterbacking that power play, moving the puck around, and eventually scoring on that power play. But it's just so nice to hear him talk. And I really like when he said to Tom and Courtney about, he always makes sure to ask the scouts what he could work on, where he can improve his game, because that's what he is, one that studies the game and is always trying to improve to make him the best player, especially here in North Bay.
Okay, we talked about Jonathan Lemaire in the first period. Remember, he hadn't played since January 25th, so that's obviously hard for a goalie to go like 6 weeks without playing.
Yeah, so you're gone almost a whole month without game action. We know that practice time doesn't simulate what is actually going on in game, and especially when you're getting a lot of times left to hang out to dry, not getting much defensive support. You got guys like Nelson allowed to walk 20 feet away from you to let a shot go. 9 out of 10 times that guy's going to beat you when you have a lethal shot to Ty Nelson. I like the way Duncanson handled the removal of him, gave him a couple pats on the back. I'd like to see Lemaire come back and get back in here in the second period.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, Sudbury got that last second goal, and I know it's 6-1, but sometimes that second goal does give you a little momentum, right? Heading into the second period. If Sudbury can just get the next one, you never know. They can make a big comeback. North Bay in pretty good shape, though, entering the second.
Yeah, and I just saw Lemaire come out first, so he's going to go back in the goal. And it's junior hockey. You can't let your guard down if you're the North Bay Battalion up 6-1. Sudbury does have the firepower. They can score. They got a good young team, and they're not going to back down. They're going to try and close this and maybe make it a hockey game for the third period.
Well, of course, we're here tonight, and we're looking forward to Sunday's game as well. The next home game will be Sunday. Then they go on the road next week. 2 games in Sudbury, one coming up a week from tomorrow, and then a Sunday matinee if you want to head down the highway, as Courtney Kenny did last week, to see the Battalion and the Wolves in the Nickel City. And after Sunday's game, a big week at home the following week, folks. Mississauga on Thursday. They're 4 back of Mississauga in the standings, and then Barrie that Sunday. So some big games coming up over the next couple weeks. Well, 6-1 North Bay. Battalion seemingly in control, but you never know. These are teenagers out there. Let's throw it back to Matt and Courtney for the second.
Thank you very much, Bob. And I was thinking of maybe just living in Sudbury for that weekend, going to both the Friday game and the Sunday game. But, my buddy doesn't live in Sudbury anymore. He lives out in Alberta, unfortunately, so my free lodging kind of has gone up in smoke on me. But as we see Lemaire's back in net for the Sudbury Wolves here to start the second period, and talking to Nick Moore, the Battalion media guy, between periods, he was saying, don't be so shocked if you see him again, because Sudbury basically plays almost every second day between now and the Sunday the Battalion are in Sudbury, plus tomorrow as well, so you got to give Weeks a bit of a rest.
Are they trying to is it because they're trying to make games up? See, between the OHL schedule and the Nipissing Lakers men's and women's schedule, with games being canceled and remade, I can't keep track of what is a original date and what was a made up date, and where teams are in having to make games up. And we'll continue that after the next whistle, as the Battalion are attacking here in the early going. 30 seconds in the period. Shot from the point. Winslow's shot wide of the net. Down to the point, or down the half boards. Nelson tried to play to the middle. That got broken up. And Konyan, who scored the goal to end the period, goes into the zone, sends it across to the far side, but it's taken away by Coe. Sent to the point and out of the zone. Skating through the neutral zone is Jackson. Up on the right wing for Coe. Coe pass it back to the middle. It's blocked by Konyan, and Konyan goes back down the left wing side, passes across to the right side. Robinson's there, plays it off the boards to Konyan, who plays it behind the net. Puck shot around to the near side, and it's picked up by Russell of the Battalion, who moves it back through the neutral zone. Cross to Petrov over the blue line, drops it back to McDonald. Going in, the shot save made by the goaltender Lemaire. Into the corner, McDonald picks it up, sends it to the right side board. Ladd pinching in, and he'll play it out of the corner. Off the boards to Russell behind the net, who carries it to the far side. Russell circles the zone to the right side, circle to Ladd. Ladd still playing deep into the zone for a defenseman and dishes it off behind the net. Picked up back there by the Wolves and fired out. Shot right back into the zone by Ladd. 1:40 in, 6-1 North Bay. As the puck is behind the net with Anania controlling it. And he will finally bring it forward. Picked up in the neutral zone by Govro, who plays it back up ahead to McDonald. McDonald over the blue line, and they're going to call offside on the Battalion at the end of that play. And now some pushing and shoving going on right at center ice between Govro and Boudreau. And nobody wants any bobos, so the officials get in the way.
Yeah, Boudreau kind of with a bit of a late hit on Mitch Russell, although you could argue that he was following through with the hit that he would have had anyways if the play continued on, but on the offside call. And yes, on your thought earlier, Matt, about the makeup games, I'm going to say if they're playing on a Monday, which I need to look at the Sudbury schedule even more so, but usually you don't see games unless it's a long weekend on a Monday. So if they're playing on a Monday, I'm going to say that's a makeup game.
That is an astute observation.
I are smart
Thank
sometimes.
you, yes. Down the ice into the Sudbury zone. Wakely going with speed into the corner. Sema trying to help him out, as draped all over him was Mark Boudreau breaking up that play. Now it's Quentin Musty in control of the puck. He moves it through the right wing, right side of the zone, and he goes all the way into the North Bay zone. Tried to go to the net. He got pulled down and knocked off the puck, and now it's sent down the ice, and Holmes will pick it up in front of his own net. He plays it up the ice for McCallum, who carries it to the right side. Tarasevich up high on the forecheck and breaking up the play, but it's cleared out of the zone, shot right back into the Sudbury end, and Lemaire out to play it. Flips it to the half boards on the far side. The Wolves trying to skate it out of the zone, and McCallum is knocked down, and Tarasevich ends up with the puck. He's got Podolu with him, stuck in the corner. This fourth line responsible for 2 goals tonight for the Battalion. They play it to the point. Winslow to Tarasevich on the far side boards. Back across to Nelson. Flips it to the net. That is blocked and cleared out of the zone by Sudbury. Chasing it down into the North Bay zone is McCallum. He gets knocked off the puck by Winslow. He plays it to the corner to Nelson. who feeds it up ahead to Podolu. Now Podolu dumps it down the ice. It goes off his stick, and it's redirected right towards the goaltender Lemaire, who holds on to it for a stoppage in play. We are 3:45 in, and it's 6-1 North Bay.
As you mentioned, that fourth line responsible for 2 of the goals, and Anthony Romani being the goal scorer, looking for the hat trick, which would be his first in the OHL. And Kyle Jackson also looking for the hat trick, which I believe would also be his first in the OHL. So hopefully the Battalion can at least get some milestones out of the way with that. But at the same time, good to see Lemaire building some confidence with some stops here early in the second period, Matt.
Four minutes in here to the second period, 6-1. There's a shot on the goaltender DiVincentis, and it gets cleared out to the neutral zone. Coe, falling down to his knees, still was able to dump the puck in. The Sudbury Wolves looking to clear it, stopped at the line. Now played ahead, Govro going in, plays it across the Coe. It's knocked off his stick. He plays it along the end boards to Jackson, who picks it up, drops it back behind the net to Petrov. He skates down the right side boards, plays it to the point to Ladd. Ladd across the left side of Govro. Govro on net, blocked with the bodies in front of the net, and it gets cleared out of the zone. Into the neutral zone, Petrov plays it back for Ladd, across to the far side to Govro. Govro plays it back up ahead to Jackson, but it missed his stick, knocked off the boards, and it's played by Mania. Mania plays it to the far side boards to Robinson, and they dump it down the ice. Kanyan trying to get a tip on it. It missed his stick, and so instead it will be icing against Sudbury with 4:45 gone in the second. It's 6-1 North Bay.
These first 4 minutes and 45 seconds have seemed a little slow compared to the start of the first period, and of course the second period is proudly sponsored by Northern Wood Customs. Find them on Facebook and they check out some of their creations, and if you want one of your own, make sure you tell them you saw this ad or heard this ad on the Frontline Game Day broadcast for a 10% discount on your order.
Play into the Sudbury zone. It's controlled by Russell on the near side boards. 30-goal season already for Mitchell Russell, and remember, he missed some time with an injury earlier this year. Knocked off his stick and sent down the ice by Asadorian, and that will go the length of the ice for an icing call. 5:07 gone in the second period. 6-1 North Bay coming up on the offensive zone faceoff.
Asadorian picked up his first career OHL goal in this very building earlier this season, so he very much, you probably would understand if you like playing here at Memorial Gardens, although we mentioned in the right off the hop that the Battalion would like it if teams didn't like coming here. So get the seventh man out here and come see some of these games. It's exciting hockey. I mean, 7 goals in the first period alone.
Sent down the ice into the North Bay zone. Nelson has it behind his own net, feeds it down the left wing for McDonald, who goes into the attacking zone, plays it towards the net. Lemaire lets it go by him. Off the end boards and to the near side. Goyette looks to get it out for Sudbury. He gets knocked into the boards, and the puck goes to the front of the net. Lemaire finds it and holds onto it for a stoppage in play. What do you think so far of Van Steensel being up on that second line? Probably would be the captain Liam Arnsby's spot, but he has still been out with an injury for quite some time.
Yeah, Owen Van Steensel had a really strong end to the month of January. He was really coming on strong. He basically willed the North Bay Battalion to a victory over the Ottawa 67s, which kicked off their 9-game winning streak, which is a franchise record in North Bay. The franchise record was 16 in Brampton in 2008, but Owen Van Steensel's looked right at home on that second line, and when Liam Arnsby comes back, it's going to be tough. Do you keep Van Steensel there or play Arnsby there, which I think you do, and then Van Steensel slides down to that third line with Wakely and one of Outwater or Sema, so it's going to be a dangerous team with Arnsby back.
Winslow over the line, finds Jackson, tries to play it to Coe. It's just out of his reach. Off the end boards and back to the half boards on the far side. Now into the corner. Petrov controlling the puck there. Playing it behind the net to Coe. Centering for Jackson. He flips it up, and it's just past the blocker's side of the goaltender Lemaire behind the net. Now play back out in front to the point to Nelson across to Winslow. His shot comes in. It's blocked. It goes into the far side corner. Trying to play it out is Collins. Gets blocked. Now they try again down the far side boards, and now Sudbury does carry it out of the zone. Delich going in, steps away from a hit from Nelson and goes into the corner with the puck. Plays it to the half boards. Hoover shovels it back into the corner. Now back down the point. Play broken up by Sema, and Sema and the Battalion go the other way. Jackson across the Sema, in on net, the shot. It's blocked by the goaltender Lemaire. Jackson from behind the net trying to center it to Atwater. He can't get a shot off. The puck goes to the corner on the far side. In behind the net, it's picked up by Sema. He plays it to the corner to Outwater, who travels down the near side boards. Now Outwater to the middle of the zone, takes a shot. Save made by the goaltender Lemaire. We played 7:06, and it is 6-1 North Bay, who are outshooting Sudbury 15-7.
And you know what? These are some confidence-building minutes here for Jonathan Lemaire in net after he's getting some solid saves to begin the second period, after he didn't look so hot in the first period, allowing 5 of the 6 goals on just a few shots as well. So Sudbury needs Lemaire to step up here, and so far in the second, he's doing just that.
Sudbury clear the zone off the draw, but North Bay get the puck back quickly. Holmes has it now behind the Sudbury zone, or behind the Sudbury blue line in the zone, and he plays it up ahead to Musty. Musty dumps it down the right wing for Mania. Mania going to the net. The shot save made by DiVincentis. And as this game goes on, how important do you think it is for DiVincentis to get some work in here?
Absolutely, and you know what? He's been great for the North Bay Battalion all season long. He's just getting to that 500 win mark as well. He's 7-8 coming into this game, whereas earlier in the season, nicknaming him Doc DiVincentis because he wasn't getting the run support from the battalion. Well, you know what? 6 goals in this game. You know, you got to think that he's getting the run support for sure.
Carlos Delgado must have hit him a grand slam.
Oh, dark ages. Dark ages.
Play into the neutral zone, and it's controlled by Anania. He turns it over. Romani going into the net, but a quick poke check made by the goaltender Lemaire to break up that breakaway opportunity for Romani, who's looking for his 3rd goal of the game. Musty has the puck for Sudbury. He brings it down the ice, flips it to the far side corner, and it will roll along the end boards to play for DiVincentis. He gets it out to the neutral zone. Romani carrying forward, knocked off his stick. Sudbury controls in the neutral zone. Romani coming back in on the back check, lost control of the puck, and it's Robinson who picks it up, and Robinson carries it back behind the Sudbury net. He plays it to the near side to Anania, who holds it behind the net in the Sudbury zone. Plays it up ahead, out of the zone. And it's McDonald who controls it quickly for North Bay, playing it across to the near side of the neutral zone to Nelson. Nelson flips it into the far side corner. McDonald throws Robinson into the corner, but he couldn't find the puck, just got caught up in the skates. And now Sudbury will get out of the zone with it. Winslow in the neutral zone forces a turnover, and it's dumped right back into the Sudbury end. 8 minutes into the period, 6-1 North Bay lead as they look for it in the corner. It goes down to the point. Nelson keeps it in the zone on the near side boards, flips it to the middle of the zone. That's where Van Stiesel has it, plays it to Russell, and his deflected shot goes high. Play continues. It's on the half boards on the near side. McDonald finds it centering, no one there. Off the boards on the far side, Van Stiesel tried to play it to the middle. He gets knocked off the puck by Boudreau, but that's going to be a penalty against Sudbury for slashing. And so with 9:22 gone in the second period, it will be a North Bay power play, their 3rd of the game here.
Yeah, North Bay certainly had a lot of chances on the power play, and of course this power play is proudly supported by the Noah Strong campaign. And again, you can check out some of their new merchandise at Skater's Edge Source for Sports North Bay. You can look very fashionable while supporting a great cause.
There's a shot save made by Lemaire. Now, the Battalion up 6-1 with another minute 49 remaining on the power play. And as you said earlier, Courtney, their numbers on the special teams right where you want them to be, both top 10 in the league.
Sudbury penalty to number 20, Martin Boudreau. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 9-22. That's Boudreau.
Nelson carrying the puck forward out from the North Bay zone, feeds it up ahead to Coe. Coe going over the blue line, drops it back to the point to Petrov. He finds Nelson, who skates to the far side boards. Nelson now to the top of the circle, plays it in front of the net. Save made by Lemaire, kicking out the left side pad and throwing the glove down too. And now the Wolves go on the counter-attack. A 2-on-1 is broken up, and now it's played back out into the Sudbury zone. Pass all the way down the ice, and now Robinson flips it back down the other way. Nelson has it for the Battalion, plays it up ahead to Coe. Coe loses the puck coming into the zone. And now the Wolves go the other way. Goyette down the left wing. Tries to play it on net. That gets blocked. And now North Bay go back on the counterattack on the man advantage for another 52 seconds. Russell in the neutral zone. Across to Petrov. Back up to Russell over the blue line. Russell walking in. Sends it to the right side to Coe. But he can't corral the pass. Sent around to the far side boards. Petrov has it. Flips it back to the corner for Russell. Now down to the point for Petrov. Walking into the left side circle to the goal line. Russell sends it on net. That's a save made. Russell picks it back up his own rebound. Sends it to the point to Ladd. Ladd across to Coe. His shot stopped. Redirected to Jackson. Jackson tries to center it, but it's past everybody and sent out of the zone. DiVincentis way out of his net to play it up ahead to Winslow. Winslow skating through the neutral zone with 10 seconds to go on the man advantage. Finds McDonald. McDonald sends it on net. Loose puck on the doorstep. Another shot comes in and Lemaire makes a save. Penalty is over. Back to 5-on-5 play. North Bay up 6-1. It's McDonald coming in. Stops on the half boards. Finds Van Steensel. He gets knocked off the puck and Boudreau right out of the box. Or fresh out of the box, I should say. Plays it into the North Bay zone. 8:15 to go in the second period. North Bay still up by 5 as they look to get it out. It's McDonald down the right wing. He dumps it out to the neutral zone. Caught by Collins, who plays it up ahead to Asadorian, who gets over the blue line. Pass across the zone is blocked by McDonald. He's got a step here. He could go in on a breakaway. It's one-on-one. He's being held. And a good defensive play. As on the back check, Nolan Collins broke up the breakaway attempt. Play goes the other way. In the North Bay zone. Behind the net, centering pass. And the shot is blocked by DiVincentis by Asadorian, taking that one point blank in the slot. We've reached the halfway point. It's 6-1, North Bay in the second.
Coming up in the second intermission, we'll hear from General Manager Adam Dennis, who talks about all things Battalion in the weekly scrum. And of course, the one thing in the world right now that has everyone's attention is, the Ukraine-Russian issue, and he talks about that with the players on the team. Also, a big happy birthday go to Mitch Russell and Kyle Jackson, who will be having their birthdays. And of course, Battalion equipment manager Mackenzie Campbell is turning 22 today. Dom DiVincentis is turning 18 tomorrow. And Dallin Wakely is turning 18 on Saturday. So happy birthday from us up here in the booth as well. And one thing that's crazy, Matt, as we talk about leading up to the second intermission, would you believe me if I said that Brandon Coe has no points on the night on 6 Battalion goals?
Well, he did have 3 assists on Sunday's game. So, I mean, yeah, it is certainly surprising.
Clearly he's hit a bit of a brick wall. Should probably cut him. Send him down to Powassan maybe. I don't know.
Brandon Coe right now is tied with Brett McKenzie for 8th all-time on the Battalion point scoring list. 198 points Brandon Coe is sitting at. 82 goals and 116 assists. But he's also chasing Brett McKenzie for overall goals. Brandon Coe with 82, as I said, on his career. 6th behind Brett McKenzie for 10th on the goal-scoring list.
And those are some big names up in the goal-scoring category with Wojciech Wolski in the lead with 130. Justin Brazo, Barclay Goodrow, Cody Hodgson, Rafi Torres, Mike Amadio, Jay McClement. Those are some big names to be chasing down.
I remember that first year, Barclay Goodrow, early in the season, tied Luke Linz for 6, and then his name just kept climbing up that leaderboard as the Battalion got better and better, going for a Central Division title. Barclay Goodrow chased down a record, and he ended just 3 goals shy of the all-time record. And then Justin Brazo, in his own right, with that 61-goal season, surpassed Barclay Goodrow and finished just 2 goals back of the all-time record. So it's been a fun 8 years here as you see some of these guys come in and work their way up the leaderboards. And now Paul Christopoulos sends a puck on net. That's blocked. Played to the middle of the zone. Tarasevich with a shot. That gets blocked. Back out to Tarasevich, so he puts it in the corner. Romani's there. Tries to play it to the half boards. That gets broken up by Quentin Musty and cleared out to the neutral zone. Farron picks it up, plays it across to Holmes. Still inside the Sudbury zone. They look for a clearing attempt. Wakely blocks it, and now it's carried over the line on the pass to Sema. He goes into the left side of the zone, drops it back to Wakely. Wakely plays it to the near side half boards, and it gets cleared out of the zone. Ladd quickly to the far side to Govro. Govro dumps it down into the corner, and that's Holmes playing it out of that area to the far side boards. McCallum tries to clear. Sema has it just behind the Sudbury blue line, and it's cleared in the zone. Takes a hard deflection off a stanchion and almost redirected into the wide open net as Lemaire left his net, looking to potentially play the puck off the end boards, but that puck took a hard deflection right back to where he was no longer standing. But fortunately for him, nobody in the area to play the puck towards the net. Now it's flipped out of the zone. It hits the scoreboard, and that will cause a pause in the action with 5:39 to go. 6-1 North Bay lead. Courtney, what do you make of the pairing of it was Lucan and Govro to start the game, but it looks like they switched it up, and Ladd and Govro have been teamed up in this period.
Yeah, we've seen Ladd and Govro teamed up a little bit since Ladd's come over from Windsor, and you know what? Govro's been really impressive to me in general all year long. Coming along as a 10th round pick, and I'll finish my thought in a moment.
5:20 to play, 6-1 North Bay lead. There's a shot on the netminder DiVincentis. It goes off his arm and into the near side corner. Play into the middle of the zone. Delic shot, quick kick save made by DiVincentis. Play back into the near side corner. Delic looking for control. It comes down to the half boards, and there's 3 Wolves in the area looking for control. Jackson doing some good work on the boards to use his body to get the puck away from that area, and it gets cleared out of the zone by the Battalion. Goyette turns around and carries it right back in. Tries to drop it to the line. That's Collins there. Plays it into the corner. It's off a stick and controlled by Nelson of the Battalion. He plays it to the half boards to Petrov. Petrov flips it back around the end boards to Nelson. Nelson looking down his right wing boards to Coe, who gets it out of the neutral zone, or gets it from the blue line to the neutral zone, but it's knocked off his stick, and it's right back into the North Bay end. But the Battalion now in control with 4:10 to play in the period. It's Nelson from behind his own blue line, carrying it down the right wing side, and he dumps it in. And that's going to be called icing against the Battalion.
So yeah, just finishing my thought, Matt, on Cam Govro is he was a 10th round pick in 2019. Came into camp with a bit of a burr in his step as he tried to fight Liam Arnsby. Did fight Alex Christopoulos as well back at training camp. So he's been very impressive as basically being a walk-on player in that training camp. Not many people as a 10th rounder get much chances with an OHL team, but he's looked in great when he's had to be, especially with the absence of Tanai Smith-Urban through 2 injury bouts this year.
Sudbury Wolves attacking here. Larman with a shot, and that's stopped by DiVincentis. In the corner, the Wolves looking good here in the last couple of minutes in the offensive zone. There's a shot. Glove save made by DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for the stoppage and play. 3:41 to go in the second. North Bay up 6-1.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier the goal-scoring leaders for the North Bay Battalion. And Brandon Coe, he's not in danger of getting to Wolchek Wolski, I don't think, and barring a miracle last 2 months here. But Wolski, that record could fall with a couple of players on the Battalion coming to mind. Nick Sema, Romani, Dallin Wakely, but I think Wakely's a little bit out of the running after missing his entire rookie season because of COVID. But there's some players on this team that are very intriguing names, and they could definitely climb up that list rather quickly.
Romani into the zone, takes a shot, that's blocked. Goes back in front of the net. Tarasevic to the left side. The shot from Ponalu, and it's in the back of the net. Ponalu with his 5th of the season. 7-1 North Bay.
Michael Ponalu, he's looked like he lost a little bit of a step as he throws the monkey into the crowd. Just as I was saying, he looked like he had lost a bit of a step thanks to an injury against the Kingston Frontenacs a couple of weeks ago, as he looked like he had been coming on strong as well. And, you got to feel a little bit for Lemaire. He looked like he was putting together a solid period here for the Wolves, especially in a bounce back like that. But Podolou just getting a nice goal, standing in the slot, left all alone, and again throwing the monkey off his back.
Yeah, Podolou, like we said, 5th goal. Now 9 points in his rookie season, and there's a save made by DiVincentis. He was the second of 2 fourth-round choices, 7th overall in the 2020 OHL priority selection. So, again, a lot of these guys who technically it would be their second year, but it's their first go at it in the OHL. As another shot comes in, save made by DiVincentis. I mean, they've got to be feeling like, I've got some ground to make up here with that lost season.
Oh, absolutely, and a lot of them have been doing exactly that and more. Like, I mean, we talk about Wakely. He's already having one of the best seasons for a second rounder in Battalion history. Podolou has looked fantastic. Van Steensel has looked fantastic. I mean, I'm sure all these guys are having the best types of seasons for whatever round that they were drafted in. Especially Podolou or Van Steensel coming out of the 4th round. So they've looked absolutely fantastic. And, of course, leading the charge, Ty Nelson, who's come as advertised and then some this season.
Yeah, what did I read earlier this week for Dolan Wakely in terms of rookie scoring? He has now surpassed any North Bay Battalion drafted player in goals scored in their initial season, I believe.
Insane, isn't it? Absolutely insane.
With his 14 this year, that's an icing call coming up against the Battalion with 2:29 to go.
And that goal that he scored against Sudbury, too, he likes to score goals from the weird angles, right almost on the goal line, because Ben and I are watching the game in Sudbury on Sunday, and the next thing, Wakely scored, okay. It came out of nowhere, it really did, and he's had a great year, but it also really speaks to... we've said our piece a few times as to how the quality of drafting had been for a few years for the Battalion, but Dolan Wakely's a heck of a player, and he's going to have a heck of a future in this league.
Yeah, the franchise record for goals by a rookie is 40. Evgeny Grachev did that in 2008, 2009, when the franchise was still in Brampton. But yes, the North Bay Battalion rookie goal scoring record was 13. Brett McKenzie did that. Here comes Coe. Dangles to the middle, gets knocked down, and then gets knocked out of the play. And you got to be wary about Coe, who's coming off concussion protocol. Missed 3 games, got into Sunday's action, and he's slow getting to the bench. Looks like he's actually favoring his lower body, though, as he gets on the bench. So we'll have to keep an eye on Mr. Coe as the play continues here with 1:35 remaining in the period. The Battalion are up 7-1. And going into the zone is Delich. Plays it up ahead to Anania, and the save is made by the goaltender DiVincentis, and that will be 15 saves on the evening for Dominic. Check that, 60 now as they change it on the board.
When we're talking about Grachev, I didn't realize we were talking about import players too, so I guess by that logic, Matvei Petrov probably is closing in on the most goals in North Bay Battalion franchise history as a rookie.
Now, here's the thing. Rookie doesn't count if you are 18 or older because of Evgeny Grachev.
I see.
In an interview about winning the M's Family Award as the OHL's Rookie of the Year, he declared, "I am not a rookie."
That's good. That's really. Sorry, I never heard that before. That's great.
Yeah. And then they changed it. There's a shot on net, save made by DiVincentis as he flashes the leather. So, after the season he won it, no player turning 18 or older the year the season starts is eligible for rookie status.
All right, so Matvei Petrov, you're having a great rookie season, but you're not a rookie, which is totally fair.
Because technically this would also have been his second year, right? He was
he was 2020.
in the 2020 import selection.
Also, one thing that kind of gets lost in the footnote of Battalion history is the impact that Matvei Guskov had in getting him here, and it's a shame that we never got to see Guskov in Battalion Green.
Such a shame. I mean, a top line with him, Coe, and Moncada. The dreams that were left unfulfilled, right?
Absolutely.
Well, the Battalion are certainly fulfilling some dreams of long-awaiting Battalion fans who did wait a long time to come back into this building. With 20 seconds to go in the second period, it's a 7-1 lead, and if they had dreams of goals being scored, they certainly got that and more tonight. There's another shot on net and another save by DiVincentis. And this is where I think the Battalion have to be careful. Now the Sudbury Wolves are starting to get into the rough stuff here. And, I mean, since the last 30 seconds of the first period and into this one, technically it's a 1-1 game. If you're the Sudbury Wolves, you want to look at it that way.
Yep.
But the Battalion, for a second straight period, really have dominated the game. Now, Sudbury is up to 20 shots on net, but that's because about 8 of them have come in the last 3 minutes of this period here. So, but not a lot of great opportunities, just shots from outside on the outside looking in, and the Battalion are letting stuff get through to DiVincentis, but he hasn't had to make a ton of real hard saves. So there's a shot down the ice, and period number 2 will come to an end. The only team with a goal in this period are the North Bay Battalion. They get one more on the board to add to the 6 they got in the first period. It's 7-1 after 40 minutes of play.
Yeah, North Bay Battalion very convincing as they get a cheer going off the ice, and of course it feels great to have the fan support like this again back in the Gardens. But to take you through the second intermission and more, Mr. Bob Coles, we're going to send it back your way.
Well, I don't know about and more because we don't want to be talking while the third period's underway, but just
talking about the post-game show there, Bob.
Oh, okay. Got good comeback, Courtney. Good comeback.
I'm good at this broadcasting gig sometimes.
Yes, you are. So, interesting period. After an onslaught of goals in the first period, 6 of them by North Bay, just 1 in that period, and that, of course, was by North Bay. So the Battalion up 7-1 after 40 minutes, and seemingly coasting to a win here over their Northern Ontario rivals. Around the OHL, we've got Mississauga and Hamilton, 1-1, 8 minutes to go, second period. Remember, North Bay has a 4-point deficit compared to the Steelheads in the Central, and Hamilton and Mississauga, the same number of points. So, big game in the East. Also, Niagara and Peterborough, the Pete's up 2-1. They've been impacted by COVID. That's their first game in a while. That's after 2 periods. And Kingston and Barrie got a good one going early in the second with the Colts up 3-2. Kingston will be here on Sunday for the final game in their season series. If you've joined us late, if you got on after the first period, well, you missed most of the goals. 7 of the 8. 6-1 North Bay after 1. North Bay, the only goal of the second. Shots on goal that period, 14-9 for the Wolves as they attempted to solve Dom DiVincentis late in the second, but unable to. So North Bay leading the shot board 21-20. Power plays 0 for 2 for the Wolves, 1 for 3 for the Troops. Faceoffs won 27-21 North Bay. Goals in the first period for North Bay. Kyle McDonald's 29th, 2 from Kyle Jackson. He has 22. Ty Nelson is 7th on the power play. And Anthony Romani with a pair. He now has 5. Evan Conyon for the Wolves. Only goal is 13th in the second. Michael Botaluk is 5th from Nikita Tarasevich on a nice play, a great pass. Anthony Romani with another point, so 3 points for him. That was at 16:37, and just 1 penalty. Mark Boudreau for slashing at 9:22. So we'll start the third period 5-on-5 with North Bay up 6 goals, 7-1, and Derek Sudbury made a valiant effort in the second period to try to get back in the game. Some good chances, but the difference in this game really is the goaltending by Sudbury in the first period and by North Bay in the second period.
Yeah, definitely. I found the start of that second period, Sudbury tried to open things up, looking for that stretch pass. North Bay did a great job shutting down the neutral zone, clogging it up, and not letting Sudbury really get anything started. They got that 7th goal. Poteloo, Lemaire couldn't do anything about Poteloo there for the rebound. Nothing but open ice to put that in. And then that's when the pushback came from the Sudbury Wolves. They really pushed back for the final 6 or 7 minutes, trying to get one. Unfortunately, Dom Demoncentis has been stellar in goal for the North Bay Battalion, making 19 saves so far.
Yeah, not too busy, but like I say, in the lead in the period, he was called upon. How about, Tarasevic? I thought that was a nice play. He avoided the hit in front of the net, found the puck, made a great pass, and led to the 7th North Bay goal.
Yeah, great job by Tarasevic. It's really exciting to see how Oulahan has 4 solid lines. They've been playing together for a bit. Tarasevic and Poteloo and Romani, they've getting some chemistry down there on the 4th line. And we see it with Tarasevic, his creativity showing there, avoiding that hit, Sudbury a little over commitment, and making no mistake finding Poteloo, who tapped it home for his 5th of the season.
Yeah, and I see Poteloo get on the board after that concussion recently. Brandon Coe getting back in the action with a concussion. Little shaken up on a collision in front of the Sudbury goalie. Not directly in front, but near the Sudbury goalie. And he didn't come back, but there wasn't a lot of time. So it'll be interesting to watch if Coe comes back for the 3rd, or they may just sit him down. And it didn't look serious, but you're up 6, so it'll be interesting to see if Coe comes back in the 3rd.
Very interesting to see. He is one of the leaders. Yet to find the score sheet tonight. But again, he brings a lot to this North Bay Battalion team. The good thing is didn't look like it was an upper body injury in that head area that he's coming back from the concussion issues with. Looked more lower area, and just looked like he was in a little bit of discomfort. It'd be interesting to see. Knowing him as a player, he's going to want to come back though.
And we'll be hearing from Brandon Coe on Sunday during our Kingston broadcast on Sunday afternoon. Right now, though, we're going to hear from Battalion General Manager Adam Dennis. We talked to him yesterday during the weekly Battalion Scrum.
Hey, Adam, not the week you wanted last week, but what did you see last week in the 2 games, and then the comeback win, or the 3rd game against Sudbury?
I definitely thought that Sudbury, we had enough of it, in the weekend. We definitely wanted to put something together and get back on track. I think the Niagara game, we had our chances. I just don't know that we were willing to do the things that we had been willing to do throughout that 9-game streak that gets you those wins, like going to the dirty areas. And, I think we carried that a little bit into the game on Saturday with Hamilton. But it was definitely nice to bounce back on Sunday. I've said it, a long time now, that if you can win your Sunday games, it certainly makes for a much better week of practice. So I think that the coaches did a great job getting the group on track, back on track after a tough start to the weekend.
9-game winning streak. To get back to that, 2 big games, Sudbury and then Kingston. What do you guys need to do to rebound to get back on a hot streak like that?
I think it's just it's probably a question for Ryan when he comes on, a little bit more refreshing some of the habits and some of the things that they want to do. But I think when you look at it as a whole, we're still 9 wins in our last 11, right? So we're 10 of our last 12 now. So the team has been playing really well. It's just reminding us what we've done to be successful, and getting back to those basics that have given us that success earlier.
More fans in the building expected now that we're into March. So what does that do for the team, do you think, in terms of getting really excited entering this important last quarter of the year?
Well, it's huge, and I think we all forget sometimes these guys are kids, they're teenagers, and they're coming from minor hockey. A lot of them, you think of half of our team has played minor hockey in a previous year. In a normal season where it's just mom and dad in the stands, and then you come to the OHL arena and we take it for granted to have a full arena and to have fans cheering for you. It makes you feel a lot bigger on the ice, and it certainly makes you feel a lot more motivated to play. So I know our guys are very much looking forward to it, and hopefully we can continue to put a good product out there for the people in North Bay.
You have 2 Russian players in front of the scene. How fast? Have they expressed any concern for their loved ones back in Russia and Belarus at this time during this really bad conflict?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And Michael Podolou is Ukrainian as well, so he has some family down there. And, like anybody that would have family going through, a crisis at home, they're thinking about it, and it's in the back of their head. And, they're part of our family, so our job is to make sure that we're there for them and support them in any way that we can. But certainly, I think everybody's that has family over there is affected by it a little bit. Hard not to think about it.
And for the OHL has put out a statement, maybe comment on that statement that they made about the league cracking down on anything happening on the ice or comments that are made towards players that might be tainted with the Ovechkin brush, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the league statement was pretty straightforward, and I'll leave it at that, but they definitely are mindful of it, and I think that's what their big point to us was, to make sure that there's support in place for our players individually. We've all gotten to know, Michael, Matvey, Alex, Nikita, Rodion all very well, and they're great kids, and we're grateful to have them, and we're looking to support those kids in any way to help with their hockey team.
Exposure, obviously, with more people being allowed to come to the building, you always talk about, people maybe not really respecting and seeing the Battalion for what they have and what you're going to bring. So how important is that in the last 6 weeks? Even, obviously, more scouts are allowed to come, there's more movement around. How important is this last 6 weeks for them to get, you think, probably the respect they deserve?
Well, it's crucial. I mean, I think we're in an analytical age where we deal with prospective players every year that want to know who from your team's been drafted and where those numbers are at and how your team's helping players develop. So it's certainly we want people coming to watch our guys. We obviously are biased, and we think that we have a great group of young players that deserve to be watched. So I think the more people that you get in, the more exposure, obviously the better it is for your players. But for me, that's always started and ended with winning. You win hockey games, people want to see you, and you got to credit the group in that dressing room for doing a lot of that this year and bringing people out.
Good stuff from General Manager Adam Dennis yesterday, Derek, and the OHL issued a statement about just about the situation going on. Events overseas are much bigger, much more important than what's going on in the OHL arenas, but they just want to make sure players, whether it's from Russia or Ukraine or Belarus, are treated properly on the ice, off the ice, and it was good the OHL did that.
Very positive statement there by the OHL and all across the CHL. There's just a lot of uncertainty right now in the world, and when they talk about the import draft, just not really sure what's going to be happening with that. I know there's 4 players that are involved with the North Bay Battalion that are going through a lot, that have families over there, and it's just really nice how much support that we can give those players and keep them secured over here and just maintain their well-being and make sure they're good on and off the ice.
Yeah, hockey is pretty insignificant compared to what's going on right now, so keep that in mind. Third period coming up. What are you expecting from the Wolves here to try to get something out of this game?
I don't know if I'm expecting too much. As whatever they've been throwing at the North Bay Battalion, they've been able to counter-sink or counter-attack. You got to keep trying to open it up, and unfortunately, there's not much ice out there for the Sudbury Wolves to take advantage of.
Okay, Derek. Of course, we've been running features all year, thanks to Dostar Video, about U16 players, and today we introduce you to Alexander Duguay.
Up the wall. So here comes Duguay. He fires a shot and he scores!
Alexander Duguay is a 200-foot player who plays for the Sudbury U16 AAA Nickel Capitals. The 2006 first-year forward says he loves to pay attention to detail when he is on the ice.
I'm a guy that's reliable on both sides of the ice. I take lots of pride in my game and put lots of heart into the game. So I'm reliable on getting the puck out, making lots of plays defensively. But I'm also a threat whenever I pass the blue line in the offensive zone, where I can have range for my shot and can shoot from anywhere, but can also set up a play down low and control the play and look for the right play when it comes.
Duguay also believes he brings a strong skill set to the rink every day.
I'd probably say it's my speed combined with my hands. where I can also stick handle at the speed that I can go. So I'm I'm mobile and can also get around defenders and just work in corners and get the play going.
The cousin of former NHLer Ron Duguay models his game after Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, I used to always model my game after Matt Barzell, but after, just because of the speed he has, but after COVID and just refining my skills, more model my game after Trevor Zegras. Just his confidence with the puck and the things he tries in games, I find really cool, and I try to model my game after him and try to do some of the things he does.
Duguay worked hard during the COVID-19 break to get better.
I worked a lot with a personal trainer, working out maybe 5 to 6 times a week, just trying to put on muscle mass to get bigger and stronger on the ice, but also staying fit, cardiovascular-wise, and being able to play once the games came back. Also getting ice whenever I could, not during the lockdowns, and working on. I have a training pad in my backyard during the winter that me and my dad had built, and lots of shooting pucks and skating around there, and also synthetic tiles in my garage that I shoot around on.
This Duguay hopes all that hard work helps him get recognized in anticipation of the 2022 OHL priority selection.
Just to watch how hard I play the game and how much heart I put into the game, and just whether we're down or up in a game, I'll always give it my all and try to put my team on the board, or continue to put my team up on the board, and create defensive, getting the puck out of the zone and creating offensive chances for my team.
And we thank Dostar Video, voiced by Chris Dawson there, to introduce you. And it's not Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or Alexander Ovechkin these young kids want to play like. It's Trevor Zegras, just showing you the guy wins a gold medal for the U.S. At the World Juniors, and of course he scored the Michigan goal in the NHL. So it's always interesting hearing from the younger players on who they want to be like when they develop their careers.
Yeah, and not the mistake he did make, the Michigan pass over the net there that was batted out of the air. So Trevor Zegras, he's got a bright future, and for Alexander Duguay, he's got 9 points in 23 games in the Great North Midget League. You know what? He brings a lot of talent and a lot of drive to this U16 team that are going against a lot of teams that are bigger and stronger and faster than what he's used to. So good for him. And just taking a look at his profile picture on the Elite Prospects, you can see the hair flow just like Ron Duguay, his uncle.
Yes, Ron Duguay, the most famous hair maybe in the NHL over the last 50 years, I suppose. Big game tonight, though, as we get ready for the third period. Hamilton and Mississauga are playing. They're tied and in points. Each has 68. Mississauga leads North Bay by 4 in the standings in the Central, and North Bay and Kingston are battling it out for the next spot. They play on Sunday here, and a Battalion with 1 more point than the Frontenac. So it's really going to be fun to follow these point races as we head down the last quarter of the season. After tonight, North Bay will just have 15 games left to go. So every game ranks, and a good one so far, up 7-1. Now here's Matt and Courtney with the third period here tonight from the Gardens.
Thank you so much, Mr. Coles and Derek Linneman, for taking us through the second intermission, and we're ready now for the third period. The Battalion in their green going right to left, the Wolves in their road whites going left to right, and here's Matt Sukram to call the final frame.
Tarasevich jumps it into the Sudbury zone. Lemaire plays it out. He's faced 21 shots, has allowed 6 goals on those. Well, I guess he hasn't faced all 21 shots because some of them came against
weeks.
So play underway inside the North Bay zone. Sudbury attacking. Larman plays it along the end boards. That's knocked away by Podolu, who finds Winslow on the near side. Down the left wing for Tarasevich and out of the zone. Play is blown down as we're going to get a slash call. And that is coming up against Ethan Larman. And so about 45 seconds in, number 45 is in the box for the next 2 minutes. Fourth power play of the game here for the North Bay Battalion, who leads 7-1.
Interesting to note, I was just going to say, wow, this power play is pretty lethal when they can have a guy like Kyle McDonald in the second unit. Brandon Coe not out there to start the third period so far.
Yeah, remember, he took a spill towards the end of the third, towards the end of the second, so we'll keep an eye on that. DiVincentis has to come out of his net to play it off a turnover, and he pokes it away, but the Sudbury Wolves come right back, take a shot, and that one gets blocked, and now it's the other way, with Russell leading the charge. Over the blue line, takes a shot, save made by Lemaire. Shot back out of the zone, corralled by Ladd in the neutral zone. Played across to Petrov. Petrov tries to flip it towards the front of the net. That gets blocked. Back down to the point. Petrov keeps it in the zone. He skates into the corner now. Fed back to the half-boards to Jackson. Down the point to Ladd. Across, back up to the half-boards to Jackson. Down to the point to Ladd again in the middle. Takes a shot, deflected wide of the net. Petrov off the end boards. Tries to feed it across the zone. That gets blocked, and out of the zone comes Goyette with the puck going one-on-one in the zone. Tries to put it through the skates of Ladd, but that didn't work. And now Russell has it. Spin move at the blue line, going into the attacking zone. Russell to the net. The shot save made. Throwing up the gloves. The glove is Lemaire, and he holds on to it for stoppage of play. Almost 2 minutes in. It's 7-1. 47 seconds remaining in the power play.
So for the record, Mitchell Weeks faced 4 shots out of those 20. Lemaire has now faced 20 himself in the game. And breaking it down, Lemaire through 14 minutes 56 at the beginning, saved 3 shots on 8 shots. Then Weeks comes in, goes 3 for 4, and Lemaire since then has gone 8 for 9. So good bounce back for Lemaire in net.
Puck shot to the line in the Sudbury zone. Ladd trying to hold the line with 20 seconds remaining on the power play for the Homeside Battalion. Shot past Ladd and down the ice. DiVincentis out of his net to play it. Long stretch pass. Up ahead to Van Steensel going in on the left wing. Plays it back to the blue line to Winslow. Winslow across the middle. Ladd wide open. Winds up and fires, and it's wide of the net. Winslow picks it up off the half-boards and sends it to the far side to Romani. Romani, who has 2 goals tonight, keeps it in the zone. Plays it to the middle. Winslow walking in. The shot, and it goes high. Behind the net. Trying to control it back there is Romani. 3 minutes gone in the period. Romani from behind the net sends it to the point to Winslow. Winslow walking in along the left side, goes into the corner. He gets hit. Puck comes loose, and now it's corralled by Wakely, who carries it to the line. Fires it across to the far side. It's off the boards and carried out of the zone by the Wolves. They dump it into the North Bay zone, and Winslow's the first one to it. Plays it around to the right side to Ladd, up the middle for Sema. He turns it over in the neutral zone and shot back in by the Wolves. Picked up off the boards by Winslow. Played to Outwater. He lost it. Coming into the play was Ryan Smith, and Smith is held on the boards. He gets knocked off the puck, and the Battalion get it out to the neutral zone. Jackson will carry it forward over the blue line into the attacking zone. Takes a shot, scores! Kyle Jackson with another one. That's his 3rd of the game. Make it a hat trick. And Kyle Jackson puts the Battalion up 8-1.
Kyle Jackson now has 23 goals on the season. So again, great to see Kyle Jackson get out there too. And the Battalion keeping it respectful with just a muted celebration on the ice. No hats making their way down to the ice either. So the 7th man looking like they want to throw a couple of people, but they deciding against it because like everything else right nowadays, hats are getting a little expensive.
No doubt. So the Battalion, again, without Brandon Coe to start this period at the very least, and I don't see him on the bench. There's Savage with a shot. That goes off a stick and wide to the corner. So the Battalion really have been relentless this entire game. I mean, they have not let up. 6 goals in the first, just the 1 in the second, but they certainly were looking for more. Lemaire just, as you said, Courtney, put up a good fight in that second period to only allow the 1. Icing called here against the Battalion. And now here in the third, the Battalion get an early power play, and they just keep attacking, and Then it's Kyle Jackson going one-on-one in the zone, and rarely is Kyle Jackson going to miss on those opportunities. 23 goals on the season, now 7 away from joining the 30-goal club on this team.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they could have the potential for 5 guys in the 30-goal club for sure for this team, and that'll be the first time that we've ever, the team has only ever had 3 30-goal scorers once, so if they even get 4, that's a North Bay Battalion record.
One of those guys, as we mentioned, is Kyle McDonald, who has 17 points, 11 goals through the 17 games that he's played since getting traded here from the Windsor Spitfires. A plus 10. He was minus 5 with Windsor. He's a plus 10 going into this game. Of course, he did get 1 tonight as well, so 12 in a Battalion uniform. What a pickup. What a move by General Manager Adam Dennis to add that depth of offense to their offensive depth.
Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Not going to get any better than that, folks. So we're 5:20 into the third. North Bay up 8-1.
How have we ever gotten into this position, man? I just got to know.
Mania brings it down. People enjoy our brand of humor.
I'd like to think so.
Boudreau with the puck at the point. Tries to play it forward to the net. Blocked by Van Steensel. And he gets it out of the zone. McDonald chasing it. It's out of his reach, and the Wolves going the other way. Boudreau over the blue line. Plays it to the half boards. DeGrazia tries to play in the middle. That's blocked by Jackson, and he gets it out ahead to McDonald. McDonald dumps it down. Jackson chasing. Tries to chip it to the middle. That got blocked, and now Robinson will go the other way with the puck. Check that. Lamar going the other way with the puck. Gets it up to the far side boards. Going into the zone. The shot goes high. Ricocheted off the end boards and out of the zone. Robinson chasing for the Wolves. They trail by 7. Looking for a touchdown here in the third period with 6.5 gone. The Wolves back in control in their own zone. Playing it up ahead. Boudreau going in. Boudreau down the right wing side. Gets boxed into the boards, but now he cuts to the middle, and a nice poke check man, and the Battalion end up with the puck, and it's Petrov going the other way. Petrov tries to make a move through the legs. That's blocked, and now Asadorian going the other way. He feeds it down the right wing for Smith. Smith on the half boards in the North Bay zone, feeds it back up ahead. Asadorian with a sharp angle shot. Stop rebound chances in the back of the net. It looks like it's Collins who picks up the goal, and it's 8-2 with 7 minutes gone in the third period.
That's Collins' third of the season, and that's the Wolves' second shot of the period. So the Wolves are batting 500 so far on their shot attempts Anania with the goal.
Yeah, it looks like they are giving it to Anania.
Either way, it's his third of the season. And they're batting 500 right now on their shot attempts here in this third period.
Now, here's the thing. I was going to say earlier, Jackson got off the bench after scoring the hat-trick goal. There's a hard hit behind the net. Lucan rocked into the boards. He gets up, looks to be okay. And just to finish that thought, Jackson, after scoring his hat-trick goal, comes back out for his next shift and comes right out and back checks and breaks up a play. I mean, what I've loved of this North Bay Battalion team as the Wolves go offside here, that this team is not relenting. Now, I know they've given up the 2 goals here. Not a ton DiVincentis can really do about the second one. A lot of traffic in front of the net, and the puck just bounced to the stick of Anania, who was right there wide open. Maybe if you want to get right into the gritty of things, maybe, the defense should have cleared the guy out of the area. But I've liked the way that especially the veterans are showing the younger guys in this game that it does not matter that you're up by more than a handful of goals. You still have to be responsible in your own end.
Absolutely, and that's been a hallmark of this team so far, as you mentioned. They've been very strong defensively. We've heard about a lot of players, coming into the season that maybe weren't so great defensively, like Nelson or Petrov. They don't look out of place at all in their own zone.
McDonald moving the puck over the blue line into the Sudbury zone, knocked away from his stick, but now he gets it back on the half boards. Tries to feed up ahead of Van Steensel, who finds Russell in the circle. Back to Van Steensel, walking in. He lifts it up. It rolls along the crossbar and somehow stays out of the net. Well, yikes, I thought that one might have tickled the twine for sure, but I guess it never crossed the goal line. Play out of the zone and now dump right back into the Sudbury end. 11.5 to play in the third. Tarasevic takes a hit in the neutral zone. Maintains possession, feeds it to Nelson. Nelson up ahead to Romani, going one-on-one in the zone. Romani to Podolou in front of the net, and his deflected shot goes off the crossbar as well. Man, oh man, this fourth line, they are really got to be impressing the coaching staff tonight. 2 goals from Romani and another one from Podolou. And I mean, we don't have the clickers up here, but I got to think their time on ice has majorly been spent inside the offensive zone. 10:50 to play in the third period. 8-2 the score for the North Bay Battalion. Play inside the North Bay zone. Wakely has the puck. Tries to clear it. Stopped at the line. Play back across to the near side. There's a shot on that save made. Rebound chance tonight as well, as Jenik was right in close to the net. Yendek. And he lifts it up high and over the glass and out of play. But he had DiVincentis down and pretty much out of position.
And he couldn't believe it either. Once the puck hit the netting behind the net, he held his hands on his head. And I gotta say that, that's definitely a tough one there too, especially when you're desperate for goals. You know, down 8-2 here with 10.5 minutes left in the third period.
Dominic Yendik couldn't believe he could not defeat Dominic DiVincentis.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm done.
Robinson with the puck to the left side, walking in the zone. The shot save made again. This time it goes off the shoulder of DiVincentis. Picked up by Musty. He takes a shot. Save made. The puck comes up in the air. Back down on the near side circle. Outwater has it. Plays it behind the net to Lucan. Lucan fires it to the far side boards. Christopoulos pulled down in that area. Sudbury maintains possession of the puck. Flip back around to the end boards, and it's Lucan who picks it up. Lucan plays it back to the far side for Christopoulos. He walks down his right wing boards and gets it out of the zone. 9.5 to play in the third period. 8-2 lead for the Battalion. And the Wolves look to bring the puck out of the zone. They get it to the neutral zone. Petrov plays it back for Ladd. Ladd plays up ahead to Jackson. It's knocked off his stick. And now it's going the other way. Boudreau trying to go in the zone, going to the net. Ladd keeps it to the outside and takes the puck away from him. And he gets it up to Petrov, who finds Govro skating through the neutral zone. He gets up to the Sudbury bench and dumps it in. And it's played on the near side boards by Petrov. Looking for the centering pass. Is out of the reach of Romani. And now the Wolves go the other way. It's DeGrazia. Drops it back to the trailer. The shot goes off the post. Jackson picks it up on the far side boards. The Battalion can't clear the zone. DeGrazia steals it at the blue line. Played across to the near side to Ladd. Ladd gets it out to Collins. Collins stops at the line, fires it right back in the zone. And Govro will play it out of the corner with 8.5 to go in the period. In the neutral zone, Van Steensel picks it up and dumps it into the Sudbury end. Lemaire behind the net, plays it to the near side. Smith gets it down the ice. And now it's picked up by Nelson of the Battalion. Nelson drops back behind his own blue line. And he fires it down. McDonald deflects it and dumps it into the zone. And Lemaire will leave it behind the net for Delic. Delic plays it to the right side boards to McCallum. McCallum up to the blue line. Cuts through the neutral zone, plays it to the far side to Smith. Smith knocked off the puck, but now it bounces towards the front of the net and calmly taken away by Alexander Lucan. Lucan plays it down into the Sudbury zone, and the Wolves will corral the puck and get it going the other way. Over the blue line, Lucan takes it away again, played up ahead, McDonald coming in, the shot through the 5-0 scores! Kyle McDonald with another goal. 7.5 to play. It's 9-2 for the North Bay Battalion, and it's the first hat trick in a North Bay uniform.
30th goal of the season. Sorry,
Thank
Matt.
you.
We're
Trying to tell me.
Trying to do sign language.
Was it his third goal of the game? 30-goal season for Kyle McDonald, and the North Bay Battalion have 4 players at the 30-goal mark.
Yeah,
for the first time in Battalion franchise history since they moved to North Bay.
And I would argue that's probably even the first time, I want to say, in Brampton history. We'll have to look into that before the next game on Sunday. But yeah, I'm not so great at sign language up here, trying to give you the 3-0 and comes out as a hat trick instead. But it is what it is. He's 2 goals, so Kyle Jackson has the hat trick. Romani and McDonald can get a hat trick as well.
Govro plays it in front of the net. Bouncing puck, and it gets cleared out of the zone. 7 minutes to play. 9-2 North Bay. 2 from Romani. 2 from McDonald. 3 from Jackson. Podolou has a goal. I mean, this has been a great night. And now Romani tries at the front of the net. It's denied. Rebound chance. And another one denied.
Romani doing everything in his power to make it a hat-trick goal. But can't quite get there as we reach the halfway point of this third period. And we'll be bringing back in Mr. Coles and Mr. Lindemann in our post-game show, who will dissect everything from the 11 goals in this game. Yes, you heard that right. 11 goals, 9-2 in favor of the Battalion. Shots 29-23 in favor of the troops as well. And one thing I wanted to bring up when you were talking about the depth of that fourth line, Matt, is you called a lot of games for that first-year team. And somebody on the Battalion fan page had mentioned, that how much better this team was than that first-year team. And I asked Ryan Houlihan about it, considering he was on the bench. He talked about, this team has a lot more offensive upside than that team, but the depth and the way that first-year team came together was something else, and he hopes that's something they can emulate here. I just want to get your thoughts as someone who broadcast a lot during that time as well. Your thoughts of how this team, which is exciting, compares to that team.
This team, offensive-wise, actually reminds me more of year 2, where they had 3 lines that could score. You had Paul, Bertina, Amadio, Mutri, Kujawinski, then guys like Santos on the third line. McKenzie was up and coming at that point. So that makeup of offensive flair reminds me of this year's team. But I think everything that this team has gone through this year with the injuries, obviously overcoming a lot of interruptions because of COVID. Here come the Wolves with a shot. That one's wide. And it goes out of play. A lot of interruptions because of the COVID. It really does feel in this second half that camaraderie and that something special that they had in the first year is happening with this team. Of course, I'm not on the bus with the team this year, though, so it's hard for me to gauge. Aside from getting to be in the building and calling the games, I really have been watching this team from a distance more so than I have in years past. So that's the only thing that's tough for me to really gauge are those relationships. Because that team in the first year really was bonding over the fact that they all moved here as a group, really, right? And they wanted to make a stamp on how will this first-year team be remembered in North Bay.
Astute answer, and I'm sure maybe we'll have to get Mr. Cole's reaction to that as well. Also, there's 9 goals in this game so far with 5 minutes left or 6 minutes left in the game. The 9 goals in the game for the Battalion are a season high as well.
Dominic DiVincentis is sitting on top of a Sudbury player in the net. It was Evan Conyan who was coming into the zone and then slid going into the net. Dominic DiVincentis looks to be okay, but he took his sweet time getting off of Conyan. That was awkward. 5:15 to play as the Battalion are attacking here into the zone. Sema gets stripped of the puck, and they're going to call a penalty against Sudbury here. High sticking is going to be the call. So the Battalion will have the man advantage for for the next 2 minutes. I believe it's their... Check that. It's the Battalion going in the box here.
Interesting.
SEMA going in the box. High sticking, I still believe, is the call.
Yeah, that's what the referee motioned to. So for the next 5 minutes and 12 seconds left in this game, 2 of it's going to be taken up by a penalty kill for the North Bay Battalion, assuming that they can kill it off.
The Battalion early in the game got called for tripping at 5:22 and then a delay of game at 7:18. Aside from that, they have been out of the box. So with 5:03 to go in the third period, the Battalion up 9-2, down by a man for the next minute 44. And the Sudbury Wolves have a chance here to put some goals on the board and just really try to maybe win this period, or the last 5 minutes of this period, I guess. That's really what you're looking for, is the positives to take out of this game from the Sudbury Wolves. Farrand into the zone, over the line, lost the puck, poked off his stick. And McDonald, there's no one around him. He's standing in front of the North Bay bench, looking down the ice. Basically, the entire top power play unit of the Sudbury Wolves was skated by him to get off the ice. So he just stood there with the puck and then flipped it down the ice. And he'll do the same thing again from behind his own blue line. Dumped right down in the Sudbury zone, and they're down to 45 seconds on the power play. Bringing the puck through the neutral zone. The Wolves get stopped at the line. That attempt from Evan Conyon. And now it's secured by the goaltender Lemaire on his own goal line. Behind the net, picked up by Holmes, and he'll skate through the neutral zone. His pass attempt is blocked by Van Stiesel. Fed up ahead to Wakely, going in shorthanded, and Wakely will just carry it. Behind the net, comes out in front, backhanded chance. That gets stopped by Lemaire, and it's out to the neutral zone. Govro now fires it right back up to the blue line. Wakely coming out of the zone, gets the puck, tried to skate in, got knocked down, still had control of the puck, and now it's sent right back in the Sudbury zone, and just like that, the power play is over. I mean, if you're Ryan Olahan, what else can you say about the effort from the troops tonight? Up by 7 goals, but down by a man, and yet you allow virtually no time to the power play team in your zone. I mean, that is impressive. 2:45 to play as the puck is going to be iced by North Bay. And we got a face-off coming up in the defensive zone for the Battalion.
Well, the penalty kill on Sunday, and it was a question that I asked Ryan about in Sunday's game, was perfect in that game for the Battalion. And so far, so good as well here in this game, as the Battalion are up 9-2. And as they like to say in Madden, when I play with my 99 overall Buffalo Bills, it's time to break out the blowout booklet.
Are they actually rated 99?
No, they're not. I just made them so.
Okay. Just say, I think the EA Sports creators need to take a look in the mirror there. I mean, they were good, but they weren't that good.
It's called forced trades and ignore budgets, my friend.
Yes, exactly. 2:20 to play in the period. 9-2, North Bay lead. McCallum has the puck on the near side. Down the line, Robinson shot deflected wide. To the near side, Smith looking to center, and it's taken away. Down to the point, Robinson keeps it in the zone to the half-boards. Back to the middle, knocked off the stick of McCallum. They move it back down to the point. Robinson pushed over the blue line, and so the Wolves will have to retreat. 2 minutes to play here. North Bay up by 7. Here comes Asadorian down the right wing side. Sends it across to the left side. It's out of the reach of Smith. Playing it off the near side, or the far side corner. He gets pushed into the boards and knocked off the puck. North Bay on the puck. They try to clear, stopped at the blue line, and it's sent right back into the zone. Picked up by Lucan. He clears the zone, gets it out to Outwater, but his pass in the neutral zone is blocked. Back into the North Bay zone come the Wolves. There's a shot, and that's blocked by DiVincentis and cleared by the Battalion. The Sudbury Wolves play from behind their own blue line. Out to the neutral zone. Jackson picks it up off the turnover. He sends it towards the net. Lemaire smothers it with 1:17 remaining in the third. It's 9-2 for the Battalion.
You know, it really speaks volumes of how Ryan Houlihan likes that second line of Van Steensel, Russell, and McDonald, considering that McDonald hasn't moved up to that top line spot with Cope out. It's been a by committee for the wingers, where we've seen Outwater out there, we've seen Romani out there. So very interesting there that speaks volumes as to how Ryan likes that second line, how it's running.
And interesting that he was doing it in a game where they came into the period up 7-1. And you just want to leave that kind of chemistry intact. That one shot over the glass and out of play. But it hit the top of the glass before it exited the ice. So with a minute to go. Oh, and now some rough stuff going on. Russell with a hard shove. And now there's some pushing and shoving and some punches being thrown. Something must have been said. I believe it was Bujo saying something to Lukin. Was it Lukin on the, or maybe it was Nelson, excuse me. And then Russell came in and just shoved Boudreau hard. And Boudreau is still going after, jawing at Russell. And you gotta think something, Russell's usually pretty even-tempered. Something obviously must have been said that really ticked him off there. And so both Boudreau and there's another Sudbury player in the box. It looks like Collins. Russell's in the box as well. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you can see Collins is still yelling over to Russell, and Russell's just kind of over it, but something happened there for sure that we missed. And I wouldn't be shocked if it was actually Lucan that they said something to, because right now, there's a lot of ammunition.
No, I misspoke. I'm pretty sure it was Nelson out there. I saw the 2.
Okay.
And then Nelson turned. I saw the 2-4. I thought it was Lucan because he had just gone off the ice. So, yeah, I didn't want to make an assumption there or anything, but no, it was Nelson he was talking to. So it's probably just an overager sticking up for a rookie there. Now, clear. I mean, the fans' reaction here, there was clearly something said. So, not to speculate, but again, Mitchell Russell is usually an even-tempered guy, and he went after him.
Absolutely.
So with 30 seconds left, it's a 5-on-4 for the North Bay Battalion. This will be their 6th power play of the game.
And right now they have McDonald and Romani out there, so you have to think that they're going for the hat trick, the pair of them.
Romani with a shot. It goes off the post and wide of the net. And everybody knew what was at stake on that shot in the building here. Here comes Petrov across to McDonald on the left side. Romani buzzing around the front of the net. McDonald trying to get to him, but 2 guys attack him, and that's going to do it. The North Bay Battalion welcome back the fans with an emphatic 9-2 victory over their division rivals, the Sudbury Wolves.
What a great game for the North Bay Battalion, and what a great game in general for the fans to come back. And you know what? It's great to have these fans back in attendance some more. And the referee, they're talking to Russell right now as he gets out of the box at the end of the game, giving him a bit of a talking to. So interesting to see what's going on there. But these 2 teams are going to see each other twice next weekend in Sudbury. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of ammunition is used by the Wolves from this game, tape-wise. And if what just happened with Russell and all them comes back to bite them or adds fuel to the fire later on in a week or so, as Ryan Houlihan's now talking to the referees too, and so is Boudreau.
Boudreau was saying something to the coach. Boudreau was jawing at Ryan Houlihan. Yeah, I don't know, and Ryan Houlihan does not seem very pleased with. Ryan Houlihan called Russell over to the bench as he got out of the box, asked him a question, and then Ryan Houlihan had a conversation with the officials as Boudreau was yelling something at Ryan Houlihan. So
it's moments like this that I really miss being between the benches.
I bet you do. Yeah. Absolutely. So the Battalion win 9-2, and on aggregate, that's 15-4 in this series against the Sudbury Wolves, with 3 more games remaining out of their next 4?
No, there's 2 more games out of the next 3.
Got it.
As Kyle McDonald gets one of the stars, and I'm sure it's going to be all Battalion, as it looks like Romani and Jackson are out there as well. So, and with that said, we'll turn things over to Bob Coles, and he'll take you through the post-game scrum.
Thank you very much, Courtney and Matt. And yeah, I would say as I said down below to the one of the Battalion folks, the 3 stars are pretty easy tonight. Kyle Jackson with 2 goals. Romani gets a pair, and of course Kyle Jackson with a hattie, and a convincing win for the Battalion, 9-2 around the O. That Mississauga-Hamilton game, less than 8 minutes left in the third, still tied at 1. Niagara and Peterborough, the Pete's up 5-1 with 3 minutes to go at the Memorial Center in Peterborough. And Kingston and Barrie, they got 16 minutes left, 3-2 for the Colts. And again, Kingston will be here Sunday afternoon for North Bay's next game at 2 o'clock. And of course, that'll be on your game day broadcast. It'll be a little short-staffed, but we'll be able to get the game on and give you all the play-by-play story. As for tonight, the Battalion were up 6-1 after 1, and it was really the game. Sudbury unable to do much as far as getting in the game, but they did battle North Bay in the second and third periods. Just 1 goal in the second by the Battalion, so they were up 7-1, and North Bay outscoring Sudbury 2-1 in the third, 9-2 the final. Shots on goal were 30-27 Battalion, 12-6 North Bay in the first, 14-9 Sudbury in the second, 9-7 North Bay in the third. Power plays 0 for 3 for the Wolves, 1 for 4 for the Troops. Faceoffs won 36-27 North Bay. Lots of stats in that first period, so we'll go through them. Kyle McDonald's 29th, first of 2 on the game from Mitchell Russell and Cam Govro. Kyle Jackson's 21st, first of 3 on the game from Matvey Petrov and Ty Nelson. Nelson's 7th on the power play from Russell at 10-14. That was Russell's second point. Jackson's 22nd from Govro and Petrov at 14-27. Romani's 4th from Christopoulos and Tarasevic at 14-56. And Romani again from Lucan and Wakely at 19-18. Sudbury's goal, Evan Conyon's 13th from David Goyette and Nolan Collins. And it was 6-1 after 1. Second period, Michael Potalou's 5th from Tarasevic and Romani at 16:37. That made it 7-1. In the third, Kyle Jackson's 23rd unassisted, the hat-trick goal at 3:45. Andre Anania's 3rd for the Wolves from Asadurian and Ryan Smith at 6:58. And McDonald with his 30th and 13th as a member of the North Bay Battalion from Van Steensel and Lucan at 12:29. Brandon Coe did not play in the third period. The goaltending tonight, Dom DiVincenzo stopped 25 of 27. And for Sudbury, of course, they went with 2 goalies. As Lemaire started, he left, he came back, he stopped 18 of 26. Mitchell Weeks stopped 3 of 4 shots in the brief time he was in. So convincing win by the Battalion. Wasn't really one, the scoring was really 3 guys, but it was a lot of guys got points tonight, Derek, and great game for Kyle McDonald. He was all over the ice, both ends. Kyle Jackson, very explosive offensively with 3 goals, and Anthony Romani had a pair himself. So convincing North Bay win here tonight.
Very good win. I thought really strong play right from the get-go. They came out of the start. They wanted to get out early. They did exactly that and didn't let Sudbury Wolves get anything going and get back into it. They smothered the Wolves the whole night, not allowing that stretch pass going. And talk about the play of Kyle McDonald. 10-game point streak now, 11 goals in those 10 games. He's 30 on the season. First time ever in North Bay history that we have 4 30-goal scorers on one team.
And as we bring in Ben Long, who's our producer, but he loves to do this post-game thing, so we're going to bring him in again. And Ben, Kyle McDonald's doing pretty well for a second liner, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of when he brought him in towards the deadline. There wasn't right at the deadline, I don't believe. Was it?
It was
about a week before. Yeah.
Yeah. So we brought him in, and like they sent Curry the other way. It was just kind of like, what's Dennis thinking? And now we all see what he was thinking, and that move has been paying off in spades, I guess you could say.
Yeah, not naming any names, but there were a lot of people locally who said, well, North Bay didn't do much. They just got this kid from Windsor, and they got a depth guy from Sarnia, and we saw tonight, both you guys can weigh on this, but we saw tonight what Tarasevich is bringing to this team, and obviously Kyle McDonald, Ben. So those deadline deals are looking pretty good right now for North Bay because, they've had a lot of injuries up front and on the back end, and Grayson Ladd as well acquired at the deadline, and all have contributed here to this run the Battalion have been on over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, like we talked about at the start of the season all the time, depth was going to be the issue. The first line's solid, going to do great things, but that was sort of where they lived and died. Now we're starting to see depth from guys that were on the team before, but as well the guys they brought in to kind of bolster that depth a little bit longer or a little bit stronger. And yeah, these new guys from the deadline are showing great things.
Now, Derek, I got to ask you, you're helping out the Sudbury broadcast tonight, so I want to ask you, what was going on there in the last minute with Mitchell Russell? Did Mitchell Russell get under the Wolves' skin and they just lost their composure right at the end there?
We had the same point of view as you guys over here, and it just looked like it developed out of nothing. Look, there was a whistle. It looked like they were going back to the face-off dot. Words were exchanged, and then Russell threw the first real punch to the chest, and things just started from there. So really don't know if it was something said or if it was carried over. Just the way the guys carried over into the penalty box, it's almost like there was a little bit of tripping going on, and somebody went over the line, and looks like Russell took opposed to it.
Now, the penalty boxes here are on the opposite side. So even if there was a between the benches guy, we wouldn't have heard some of the language that was used between Boudreau.
No, we heard it from the fans, though.
Yeah, and the fans were really into that, right? Like some of the old North Bay Sudbury stuff came out there in the last minute, eh?
Yeah. I mean, the whole game was kind of chippy. You started seeing right off the start, you saw Musty was really chippy off the start, and then really the rest of Sudbury picked it up into the third period.
And if you remember the last time we saw Sudbury here, Musty only lasted a period and a half before he left the game with that 5-minute slashing penalty where he two-handed, I forget who it was.
I think it was Potaloo?
No, Outwater. He slashed him two-handed and just left the game. And you know what? It could have been chippier. I think the referees did a really good job with their game management. Each team, we only seen 3 or 4 power plays, so it's not like it really got out of hand, and really, it could have got worse than what it actually did with what the score ended up being.
Yeah, we haven't seen this year with, obviously, the schedule is you're not seeing any Western teams except for the Sioux. And so you're seeing the same teams over and over again. And we really haven't seen that. I know there was some concern when the schedule came out. That's just too many games. Games are going to get out of hand. But maybe later in the year now that you're into those 8th, 9th, 10th games against the same team, maybe we'll see some of that. Because in as far as I know, most of the North Bay Sudbury games, they've been pretty mild compared to what we usually get. But not tonight. It had a little edge to it, even though the game was out of hand. I thought North Bay played hard, and it had a little edge to it on both sides. Not necessarily because of the score, but both teams wanted to show their coaches they were competing pretty hard.
Yeah, the last game here we saw was a bit chippier. Me and Courtney were up at the game in Sudbury last weekend, and it was a clean game. We didn't see too much going on there. So it really kind of just amped up from last weekend to this weekend. With 2 games in a row next weekend, that's going to be that is a potential that it could be getting out of hand by the end of that weekend.
And they're both in Sudbury, so remember that too, right? So the Wolves have had 2 tough ones here. I mean, blown out tonight, and seemingly a game in their favor the game before, Derek, and they were up 3-0 and they lost 4-3, gave up 4 unanswered in the third. So, and then of course they lost last week. So Sudbury, they probably think they owe North Bay a real tough game, and maybe that's going to be next Friday night. Nothing like a Friday night in Sudbury, right?
No, nothing like a Friday night in Sudbury. Be interesting to see what the Sudbury Wolves come back with, knowing what happened here tonight and the last couple of games. North Bay just seems to have their number right now, and as we talked about, these are points that you don't want to take off the board if you're the North Bay Battalion. They're fighting for one of the top seeds in the playoffs. You want to get that home ice advantage as long as you can. And when you're going up against a team like Sudbury, we've seen what happened last Friday when you take Niagara too easily. You don't want to do that against the Sudbury Wolves. You want to come out and get going right from the start.
And big picture for North Bay, Ben, these points are precious. At last check, North Bay was 4 back of Mississauga in the standings. It's 1-1 with 4 minutes to go in the third period against Hamilton. Hamilton and Mississauga have the same number of points. North Bay is now 3 up on Kingston, and Kingston, I don't believe, is playing. They are playing tonight, and 10 minutes left in that one. They're losing to Barrie 3-2. So big picture, you got to take advantage of these games against the Wolves, an 8th place team, because you've got less games than other teams, and you're going to see teams like Kingston down the stretch, and you got one more against Hamilton too.
Yeah, so when it's Sunday, we have Kingston coming into town, and that's going to be a good game that they're going to have, real good competition there. I think another big thing, if I'm Ryan Houlihan in the dressing room tonight, I'm not celebrating like it's a 9-2 win, because outside of that first 10-15 minutes, it was a 3-2 game with fairly equal shots, right? So there was a huge explosion at the start, but the game wasn't reflective of the score.
No, and that's what I mean. Sudbury played hard, North Bay played hard, and even when North Bay, Derek, got the big lead, they didn't let up. They kept playing hard, and you got to give Sudbury credit. They didn't sort of, get into one of those games. Oh, this isn't our night. They kept being aggressive, and Dom DiVincentis had to make some good saves. So Sudbury could have had 5 or 6 goals tonight, but DiVincentis was there.
And it really, what I thought it came down to was a lot of puck bounces and just a lot of bad mental errors from the Sudbury Wolves, whether it be miscommunication. I know on the Potaloo goal, it was coming out of the Battalion zone around center ice. The 2 defenders just didn't know who was going to take that puck, and that little hesitation just allowed the Battalion to jump on it. Just those little mental mistakes just cost the Sudbury Wolves tonight, and just something North Bay just seemed to capitalize on. Every little pouncing puck, the puck would get away from a Sudbury player. It'd be a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 and 2-on-0, and just North Bay really capitalized on their opportunities tonight. Sudbury didn't, and DiVincentis played well, especially. I recall that last 7 minutes of that second period, Sudbury was pushing, and DiVincentis came up with numerous glove save after glove save.
He might be up for that Golden Glove award with the truly Golden Glove that he wears.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little about Kyle Jackson, because we saw Brandon Coe not play in the third period, so who knows about Sunday for him. He was shaken up late in the second period, but Kyle Jackson, who missed a lot of time, he's been so impressive. He came back in the Peterborough game a couple of weeks ago, and let's talk about Kyle Jackson, Ben, and the impact he's having on this team with 3 goals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when he was out and we saw Russell take his spot, we thought, oh, Russell's doing a great job here. And we all knew we were missing something from having Jackson in the lineup, but I don't know if any of us really, truly respected Jackson's role that he was playing and how much he really brings to the team in terms of he seems to just bring like a calming business attitude to that first line, where Russell might have been a little more hot-tempered. I was expecting to see more of that out of Jackson this year, but he's really kind of leveled off. And
yeah, he's a valuable player in this team. I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's enabled them to really, you put anyone with Kyle Jackson, the line starts to get chances, and it enables them to put Mitchell Russell on the second line, Derek.
And that's what I was going to say is is we always talk about Jackson coming back and what he does to that first line. Let's not forget about what happened when Jackson comes back. It puts Mitchell Russell on that second line, and who's been red hot on that second line? Kyle McDonald. So there's that backfall when you see the inserting of Jackson. Now you move Russell. Him and McDonald have been playing real well together. Van Steensel stepped up his game. So it's just putting those little pieces in motion going forward just by adding Jackson back into the lineup. You see that domino effect throughout all four lines.
And a word, Ben, on Anthony Romani. 2 goals tonight. He's starting to really show. He's one of these young guys that people don't talk about a lot, but he's starting to produce.
Yeah, at the start of the season, there was he would be on the fourth line, didn't get a whole lot of ice time, he was out of the lineup a couple games, and now he seems like he's, an action player every game. He's doing something, even if he's not putting numbers up on the boards. He's throwing a couple hits here or there, or he's, getting some good chances. I think in the next 2-3 years, if he's here for that long, we're going to see some really solid play out of him.
Okay, we'll leave Derek with the final word on, we got Kingston here on Sunday. Obviously, that's a game, if you're a hockey fan, you want to check out. Lots of reasons to come here. We got a local product who I guess is an MVP candidate in the league now. At last check, he was leading the league in assists to Mr. Edmonds, and of course, Shane Wright. They're like the rock and roll team in the Eastern Conference this year with all the Shane Wright talk. So it should be a fun one on Sunday.
It should be. Kingston is going to be a little bit more tired. North Bay has to capitalize on the shortened schedule, playing 2 games this weekend as they don't play again till Sunday afternoon. Kingston is in a tough game tonight, and then they're in Sudbury tomorrow to take on the Wolves, and then they're here Sunday. So it's something that the North Bay Battalion want to get out to a quick jump and capitalize on a tired Kingston squad. And just talking about Lucas Edmonds, even though he's a 20-year-old, he will be eligible for the upcoming NHL draft due to his playing time over in Sweden. So it's just nice to see local talent getting noticed even in the NHL level again.
Yeah, it's his second visit here as a member of the Frontenacs, and he'll get a big chance on Sunday afternoon with all his family and friends. Didn't get that the last time with all the restrictions in place, but I'm sure he'll have more support come Sunday afternoon for the Kingston Frontenacs. Well, that's about it for us. 9-2, the final score. You've been listening to Long's Maple Syrup postgame show here on your game day broadcast. Don't forget to listen to the podcast, the Frontline podcast. New episodes every week. This week it was Ty Nelson. Next week, to be announced. And Courtney Kenny and Tom Parisi will have a great guest. And look forward to that. And that usually comes out Wednesday afternoon. And wherever you get your podcast, you'll find it. That's the Frontline podcast. Again, the final tonight, the North Bay Battalion 9, the Sudbury Wolves 2. We thank Matt and Courtney for the call, and of course Derek with his insights, and our producer Ben Long as well. I'm Bob Coles. So long from Memorial Gardens.